Coast Network.
Brought to you by Bank Iowa, Mahaska Drug, William Penn University, Fairway, Raymond James Financial Services, Roxburt's Decorating Center, Oskaloosa Vision Center, Swim Sports, Awards and Screen Printing, Hawkeye Real Estate, Cloud Valve Company, Robert Auld Investments, Mahaska, Kinetic Edge Physical Therapy, Penn Central Mall, Kelly Style Insurance, Oskaloosa Area Chamber and Development Group, Petrito Orthodontics, and Pella Printing.
Oskaloosa Indians football starts
now on the No Coast Network.
We are live from West Burlington, Iowa. West Burlington, Notre Dame, Danville, if we're being completely accurate with the school that Oskaloosa is playing tonight. And here in West Burlington, the Indians, they have to do one thing to take care of their side of business, and that's win and win big, as this is week 9 of high school football here in the state of Iowa. My name is Emery Songer. My partner, as always, is Doug DeCock, and after last week's loss in a wild game against Washington, we've been spending all week, Doug, trying to do the math of what needs to happen for this Oskaloosa team to make the playoffs. But the first thing Oskaloosa needs to worry about is just trying to win by 17 plus here on the road against West Burlington, Notre Dame, Danville.
Yeah, that's right, Emery.
And just to make it easier, from now on, they're West Burlington. How's that?
West Burlington. So before we get going here, does Danville, they have a heck of a basketball team.
Last year, the football program started the season. They had a few injuries that were season-long, and they are in Class A, so they have to field an 11-man football team. They had about 14 guys available for the last half of last year, so they forfeited the rest of the 2016 season. What they ended up doing for this year, instead of trying to regroup and rejoin their Class A district, which is the same district that Montezuma, Peak, and Linville-Sully are in, which is a pretty cutthroat district, New London, what they ended up doing is just consolidating their football program with West Burlington. That's just about a 15-minute trip down the road. Notre Dame is a Catholic private school within here. They probably could field a Class A team if they really wanted to as well. But West Burlington, they have themselves a growing community. This is a Class 3A team now. Wasn't all that long ago. They were a Class 1A school. So this is a growing community, a growing school district, and Danville has just hopped on for this season at least before redistricting next year, where they may or may not elect to try to play some 8-man ball. So that's why Danville's in it. Notre Dame's played for forever, as far as I can remember, with West Burlington. And how about the facilities here? They have a great-looking school, a nice little complex here in the town. I mean, the neighborhoods you drive through to get to this school are really impressive as well.
Yeah, not bad. Thanks for clearing that up, Emery, because I knew Danville always had a really good basketball program.
I would imagine basketball is going to be untouched. So
yeah, so anyway, so now that we got that out of the way, yeah, what a great night once again for football here in Burlington. You know, the winds have died down a little bit. The temperature, I actually have shorts on.
Yeah, I saw that.
in week number 9, which is kind of rare. But, yeah, we're in for we'll see tonight what we're in for. The seniors don't want the season to end, obviously, this to be their last game. But Oskaloosa's put itself in a position where it has to do their job, which, in all honesty, is win this game by 17 points or more. And then they need a little help from some other teams around the state. So you got to take care of business right here in Burlington, and this Burlington team is not that bad. They run a option wishbone attack. They've got 4 guys that have piled up a bunch of yards running the ball. So they look like they're pretty well built. They're 6'1", 6'2", 180. Those type runners have given us problems on tackling. So this is not going to be easy. You've got to be emotionally, mentally prepared to play tonight. You can't just be thinking about the playoffs, because about the time you do that, Burlington's going to stay right in this game.
Yeah, and West Burlington is a team that had a lot of success last year in their first year in Class 3A in this weak district. And it is what it is, but this year they have dealt with losing a lot of speed. In 2015 and 2016, they had state championships in track and field, so they used a lot of speed on the outside to really put their opponents in bad positions. But what I can tell you now from what we're seeing with this team is that they're playing spoiler. Brand new head coach, running that triple option, looks very different. What I can tell you, in my personal viewpoint, Doug, is that Oskaloosa just needs to have tunnel vision the best that they can. I know that they know how many things need to go right. I talked to Coach Jenkins before the game today, and he asked me just to reiterate some things that I thought were the important ones to watch for, and just to try to keep it as simple as possible. And now, getting into points and everything is great, but what Oskaloosa would love to see, and I'm just going to try to keep it as general as possible, Carlisle and Norwalk play for the second seed in District 6. You want that to be a 2-touchdown game either way, and then Oskaloosa doesn't have to worry about that district. In District 1, Sergeant Bluff-Luton plays Storm Lake. Storm Lake happens to also be tied with Spencer and Bishop Heelan Catholic for the second seed. Well, the way the tiebreakers go, Spencer is going to be the number 2 unless Storm Lake pulls off a win against Sergeant Bluff-Luton. That'll create different tiebreakers, but Sergeant Bluff is about a 40-point favorite in that game. So we expect them to win, and we are just going to go with that expectation, try to keep this as simple as possible. That means that Spencer, no matter what happens, as long as they win, they'll be the number 2 seed because of tiebreakers in District 1. That means that Bishop Heelan Catholic and Storm Lake are going to be the 2 or the 3 or tied for third potentially, or a 3-4. But Heelan has the tiebreakers if those two teams end up tied. So what Heelan will do is they have to try to win by, I think,
14 or less.
Yeah, so if they win by a couple of touchdowns or more than a couple touchdowns against Spirit Lake tonight, then they are going to be in good shape to get themselves a wild card playoff berth. So that's an important one as well. The least likely of our scenarios in the important districts is in District 3, and that is Decorah playing against Independence. Independence hosting that game, and Independence has to keep that game within a touchdown if Oskaloosa doesn't have to worry about that. So, of course, District 2, District 7, District 4, they have things that Oskaloosa is paying attention to, but Oski's in good shape against those districts. It's the 3 that I just mentioned that Oskaloosa is paying close attention, and you have to have at least 2 of them fail.
Yeah, just to clarify, Heelan needs to win by more than 14.
Correct. If they
to
lose
get their spot.
Yeah.
If they win by 14 or less, Oskaloosa, if they 17 Burlington tonight, can jump them.
We do have to give you a disclaimer here. Last year, I did all the right. I did all the right math. I thought for all 6 classes ahead of time. So I thought, and because they waited until the next morning to kind of release the pairings and everything. So as we were getting ready for that, I kind of was surprised when I looked on the spreadsheet of the teams, and there were a couple of teams that had snuck in that I didn't think so, and they were both at the time within our listening area. And that was Centerville and BGM that I didn't think were going to get in Class A and Class 2A. And when that happened, I was just like, I'm going to have to refrain from definitively saying anything until the state comes out with their pairings. And tonight they will release the pairings. They did say, I called the state this week, asked if they could give me a kind of a hard time of when we could expect, and they said we can't promise anything before midnight. No. So I guess we're just going to have to wait until midnight at the latest to see who the teams are, and then by 2 a.m. they're hoping to have the pairings out for next Friday. Yeah. So
it's like the fine print on one of your bills. You know, you don't really know. There's so many scenarios and tiebreakers, but we'll try to give you a general idea of what we think, and it's not necessarily right.
Exactly. So if you believe that we have said something as in a definitive Oskaloosa's in or out, just hold the phone a little bit until we can for sure put that to bed, and you should be able to go on our social media accounts, KBOE 104.9 FM for our list of playoff teams, as well as KMZN on Facebook for a list of playoff teams as well, as soon as we figure them out. And again, that could be as late as midnight tonight, so just bear with us on that. The state has to do their math as well for these 2 wild card slots. We'll go ahead and take our first break. When we come back, we'll talk stats for this game, because guess what? Oskaloosa, although it's going to be real fun to see what's happening around the state, Oskaloosa needs to figure out how to beat West Burlington, Notre Dame, Danville by 17 or more tonight. We'll have all that coming up after this break. It's Oskaloosa football here on the No Coast Network.
Wonder what the outrageously energizing experience of Mountain Dew Kickstart is like? Well, it's like a combo of 3 awesome things: dew, juice, and caffeine, rebooting your entire personal operating system.
Mountain Dew Kickstart is in position for consumption.
Release the Mountain Dew Kickstart.
Mountain Dew Kickstart released. Experiencing a charge of Mountain Dew Kickstart now.
Mountain Dew Kickstart operation successful.
Roger that.
Get charged up with Mountain Dew Kickstart, now in 2 energizing new flavors: mango lime and raspberry citrus. Fuel with flavor.
Dreams start early, illustrated straight from the heart. Big or small, dreams take hard work to grow into reality. To bring your dreams to life, sometimes you need a little help. So surround yourself with people who believe in your dreams and count on Bank Iowa to help you reach them. Bank Iowa, for the dreamer in all of us.
Our roots are here in the middle of America, where humble beginnings can grow into great opportunities, where hard work and high standards are the key ingredients to success, where honesty and integrity matter. We're proud of our roots, proud to be a part of a community that shares our values, and grateful to our customers for giving us the opportunity to grow.
We love to help people with their smiles. Petrito Orthodontics of Ottumwa and Oskaloosa is all about creating beautiful smiles and increased self-esteem that lasts a lifetime. We specialize in creating individualized smiles by committing to make each visit a memorable experience. Our office is equipped with state-of-the-art technology to ensure optimum results. For help with your smile, call Petrito Orthodontics.
Plow Valve Company of Oskaloosa is very proud of all area students involved in any school activities. They know that being involved takes dedication and hard work put forth by each student. Plow Valve Company reminds you to support our area students in the various activities that they're involved in. School activities are important in molding young people into healthy, successful adults, as they are an important part of a good community. Congratulations to all area students from Plow Valve Company in Oskaloosa.
Whatever they went through together.
Welcome, guys.
Life well planned. See what a Raymond James financial advisor can do for you.
Oskaloosa football back on the air on the No Coast Network. We appreciate you for joining us, and we got ourselves a football game between a couple of teams that are just trying to get acquainted with each other. Last year was the first meeting that these teams have had in a really long time, but Doug, the first thing that I want to talk about is Oskaloosa's offense trying to not only you have to shake off the second half of last week's game against Washington. The special teams had a couple of huge plays to help get you to that 42-point mark that you had. But there have been games this season that we've just been really impressed with the way they've run the ball. They've hit some big pass plays. Tyler Miller actually looked like a great pass receiver last week. What are some of the keys offensively for Oskaloosa to try to bounce back, because they really couldn't win the line of scrimmage in the second half against Washington last Friday night?
Well, I think one of the keys is to get the ball out of Seth Howard's hands quick tonight. We gotta pick up a read. We gotta see where the weaknesses are and our strengths are, and just go with it. So that's going to be something to watch. Getting rid of the ball quick. Can our line, which they should be able to handle their line offensively. I look for this to be similar to the Mount Pleasant game, where we was able to open things up in the second half with our run game. So let's hope we can do that, set up the pass. A lot of times we use the pass to set up the run. I think tonight that reverses a little bit. We should be able to run to set up the pass.
Oskaloosa's defense is going to have a little bit of an interesting challenge with an offense you don't see too much at the high school level these days. It was something that was very common in football an awful lot back in the day, but nowadays it's not as easy to run into a triple option high school. What is Oskaloosa going to do? I talked to Coach Jenkins. He said he's only going to be worried really about the dive and then try to use the team speed that they have to get to the football. But overall, it takes a little bit more for a team that can execute the option well, and that's yet to be seen with West Burlington Notre Dame.
Yeah, I think they've had some problems with turnovers on their pitches this year, but if you're Oskaloosa on defense and you're playing against a triple option, which for those of you who are familiar with college football, somewhat similar to what Georgia Tech or Navy may run,
William Penn University.
Or William Penn, it really forces your defense to be assignment oriented. You have got to stick to your assignment and what you're supposed to do. You can't, if you're the end, you can't be going for the dive back and leave the quarterback and miss out on your assignment there. You've got to be disciplined. One place where I think we should be with Blakeman Veldhuizen, tackles are huge. If they can penetrate right off the snap, that creates the play where the quarterback is actually optioning the tackle instead of getting down the line to the ends. So that's something to look for. Can our tackles penetrate? Blow that up. You talked about the fullback up the middle. When the heydays of Nebraska, they used to run Rathman and some of those guys right up the middle. When they beat Miami in the national championship game, that's where they made their hay, was right up the middle. West Burlington has 4 guys that have over 50 carries tonight, so they spread it around on the ground. A lot of times you'll hear spreading it around in the air. They spread it around on the ground, and they'll give the ball to anybody.
And Drake Day, their quarterback, is only a 35% completion rate. He's averaging throwing it about 8 times per game, so it's not something they do very often. Only 1 passing touchdown, but he has thrown 2 interceptions. It is all about what they do on the ground, and Day himself only has 114 yards carrying. That's just 2 yards per carry, although he does have 3 touchdowns. It's going to be Tanner Snodgrass who's going to get an awful lot of the carries, Darius Whaley and Brian Brem. We got to remember, this is a school that has a rich history and people who are just good at running itself, and they had players like Xavier Williams in the past who was just as quick as can be, one of the fastest kids when they were in Class 2A. Now that they're a 3A school, that changes things for them a little bit, with the speed a little bit more close to what they have been able to offer in the past, and it's caught up to them this year at just 2-6 record. So that's one thing that we'll have to look for, is if Oskaloosa can try to keep them within the backfield. You want to try, my personal belief is, if you can blow up the dive, that changes everything, because you take one of the options out of the game. When I look at the stats, I see that their quarterback has a whole 2 yards per carry. He doesn't seem like that big of a threat to run the football as well. So in my head, the pitch is the big question mark. Can your tackles make contact with that fullback and punish them throughout this game? Can you continue to use Drake Day's statistics against him and find ways to not allow him to improve on that 2 yards per carry, because that's not. You
don't see that in triple option teams.
No, and that doesn't work for a triple option team. So now it's about trying to limit the pitch man to not getting those 6-7 yard pickups outside and using that team speed, and the cornerbacks and the linebackers getting to the football. Those are going to be huge pieces for Oskaloosa's defense tonight.
Yeah, good point, Emery. I didn't even recognize that on the stat sheet, but if your quarterback's only averaging 2 yards a carry, it's hard to be successful in this offense if that's indeed what's happening. So that bodes well for the Indians. So we'll see what they can do. Once again, they have got to be disciplined, do their assignments, and I think we'll be all right.
Of course, we have plenty of time to try to unwind here for the next 2.5 hours or so that this football game is going to be going on. But we do want to mention that Scores and More presented by Bubbler will be on the air. We're going to wait a little longer to put that on the air on 104.9 FM KBOE, and then of course following our game on 99.5 FM and AM 740 KMZN, as we try to get as close to the right figure exactly what is going to happen with the playoff picture around the state. And like we said, we may not have the full picture before that show goes off the air, but be sure to check out our social media pages, KBOE 104.9 FM and KMZN on Facebook. We will have a full list of the playoff teams out of our listening area on both of them as soon as it is announced, and then a couple hours later overnight, which I'm not sure how quickly I'll have that updated depending on how late it does get.
The professor.
I try really hard to get some sleep sometimes, but it may be hard while I wait for the actual pairings to be out to see who's playing who, which we should find out by 2 a.m. this coming Saturday morning, I guess. So while that's going on, we still have about 10 minutes until the opening kickoff of this one. We'll take another break, and when we return, the Oskaloosa Indians have plenty to talk about. We'll talk about their senior class, because there is a chance this is the last game these Oskaloosa Indians will play in 2017 on the gridiron. That's all coming your way after the break. It's Oski football at West Burlington here on the No Coast Network.
Experience the Bruxfort's difference. We aim to provide you with the best value and better service than can be found anywhere else. After 36 years, we're still as committed to our customers and our community as the day we first opened our doors. Please stop in and give us a chance to prove how important our customers are to us.
At Kinetic Edge Physical Therapy, we're proud to keep the Oskaloosa Indians and their fans safe and feeling good on and off the field. Kinetic Edge Physical Therapy is the expert in injury care, orthopedics, and sports rehab, with a new facility in Oskaloosa, complete with an open gym area in addition to several private treatment rooms. If pain is bugging you, come see the experts at Kinetic Edge for a free injury screen. Find out more, including why the Oskaloosa Indians trust Kinetic Edge, at kineticedgept.com.
You built a castle so that the prince and princess can live happily ever after. You brought the sunshine to shine upon the whole family's future. But when the sun hides behind the clouds, State Farm can help. We put the life back in life insurance to protect your family's finances, not only in the future, but today.
Call your State Farm agent Kelly Style in Oskaloosa today.
For over 30 years, Pella Printing has been leading the way in the print industry with quality equipment, modern facilities, and skilled staff. The Pella approach combines old-world craftsmanship with today's cutting-edge technology to provide brilliant printed products at a value price. They take the time to understand clients' needs from design to pre-press to printing and delivery to build lasting relationships with their customers. Whether you need personalized graduation announcements, oversized posters and banners, marketing materials, or stationery, Pella Printing offers a broad assortment of quality printed products done with speed and precision. Pella Printing, where technology and craftsmanship meet.
At Mahaska Drug in Oskaloosa, getting your prescription filled is easy. The large covered drive-thru and easy access to the front door is convenient, and the friendly staff is always ready to help you. With a variety of goods and home decor, Mahaska Drug is sure to have the perfect gift for any occasion. Have your favorite photos developed and framed at Mahaska Drug's framing counter, and cherish your memories for years to come. It's all at Mahaska Drug in Oskaloosa, where they have been committed to a healthy community for over 20 years. Call 673-3439 or stop in today.
The student community at William Penn made an impression on me. It's a real statement that you can come here and be part of something real.
You have the opportunity to participate in activities.
The coaches are awesome. It's easy to play for coaches that care about you.
The real experiences at Penn have helped shape who I'm going to be when I graduate. I work harder because I want to be part of the conversation in class.
I am a leader.
I am a trailblazer.
I'm proud to be a statesman.
The West Burlington High School marching band out there as the Falcons are getting set to come onto the field. This is senior night for them, of course, in week 9 of the season. Their season will come to an end as they are sitting at 2-6 on the season. They played Mediapolis and West Branch in the non-district. They have beaten Fairfield and Keokuk within this district, but with close losses to both Mount Pleasant and Fort Madison, this team can hang around. Last 2 weeks, they've been beat up pretty good against Washington and Solon. Washington beat them here 73-0 a couple of weeks ago, and they lost 42-7 on the road at Solon last week. And we know those are the two teams that are going to represent this district.
That's a murderer's row there.
And yeah, Washington at Solon and then home against Oskaloosa to wrap up the season, the top 3 teams in the district. So the Falcons trying to get adjusted to Class 3A, and it was not easy from the schedule makers last year and this year. But Doug, the group of seniors for Oskaloosa, what can you say? When they were freshmen, they went undefeated. The varsity team at that point, you didn't really know what was going to happen. They had just come off of a really tough year. But I can tell you right now, as an Oskaloosa supporter, this group of seniors that we are celebrating this time around definitely helped turn the tide, along with some great efforts from the underclassmen that they get a chance to play with as well. They're great athletes all over the field. But this year's seniors, I think, really helped turn the Oskaloosa football program around.
Yeah, they were kind of a linchpin. They teamed with last year's seniors and had a great year. Went to the playoffs. It's a little bit ironic. They went undefeated in 7th and 9th grade, and the 8th grade they lost a couple games. And the big reason they lost those couple games was because of injuries. And the 2 guys that were injured that year, Tucker Nunakoven and Vincent Ramirez, and unfortunately, they have been injured again this year. Oskaloosa.
We'll talk about that a little bit more, but first we're going to take a listen into our national anthem. The national anthem here in West Burlington, and that means we're getting closer to the start of tonight's ball game. But as you mentioned, Nunnakoven played in game 1 this season. Vincent Ramirez is trying to get back for the end of the season with that broken hip socket or whatever injury that was, just long enough for him to hurt his lower leg during practice this week, because he was on pace to try to play this week. So now he is officially done for the year, regardless of what happens tonight, which will set him up to get back to the crossfitting that he loves to do so much. For Nunnakoven, man, I talked to him before the game last week, and he said, because, I can't help but talk baseball, and he said, I'm going to hit 400 this year. So he's thinking big time for baseball season. He will also be on the basketball team and be an important player for them as well. So those two guys were really, as you can say, the linchpin of the linchpin, as they were the two real studs during that freshman season that went undefeated. But the guys who are playing out there, part of the senior class, have been unbelievable as well, and that goes for the Alex DeYoungs, Keaton and Tanner DeCock. You look at Calvin Silvers in the year he's had.
He's had a fantastic year filling in.
How I wasn't expecting to say his name even once this year on the football field. Jaden Van Roekel has really come on the second half of the year.
Too.
Jared Cruz, Alex Chapman's been one of the leading receivers for Oskaloosa. It's been a collective effort from these seniors that have been here since day one their freshman year.
Well, they certainly, no matter what happens after this game, they can hold their heads high, and they did Oskaloosa football proud here the last few years. So I think this program this isn't it by any means. I personally think next year will be even better with some of the guys we got coming up. But these guys have been great leaders. Let's hope they go out winning big tonight, and we'll see where the chips fall.
That's all you got to do. Again, if you're just joining us, the idea of what this game is, Oskaloosa is a huge favorite in this game, and we won't try to sugarcoat that at all. But winning by 17 or more is important, just to put yourself in the best possible position to try to get into the playoffs. At that point, you are helpless to what happens around the rest of the state. Like Doug said, let the chips fall where they may, because that's all you can possibly do if you are one of the people that are just sitting there and you're relying on us to try to do all the hard math for you. But for us right now, all we can do is give you what the Oskaloosa Indians are doing themselves and how they are trying to prepare for hopefully a playoff game. But if not, still 6 wins potentially if with a win tonight. What a good season as well for Oskaloosa, and with the tight format of the playoffs, makes it not so easy to get into the playoffs. You really have to earn it the way that this formatted.
Yeah, and I like that, Emery. I think 16 is a fantastic number. You could have a good 6-3 Oskaloosa team miss the playoffs, but you know what? I'm all right with that. I'd rather have that than see 4 and 5 teams making the playoffs and then losing by 60 points in the first round. So I think the high schools got the number right. They're going to mess around with the districts a little bit, but I like the number of 16 for the classes, and hopefully they keep it right there.
They're going to redistrict after this year, so we'll see how that kind of affects everything. And, of course, they're looking at even increasing the number of wild cards next year to try to get the best 16 in. With the way that we're set up is we're getting set for the kickoff here. Oskaloosa will kick off, so back to what they like to do.
Yeah, Emery, I noticed on the sidelines, I think it might be Darius Whaley has a cast on his foot. I think it's either number 5 or number 6. If it's 5, it's him.
Their uniforms are not fun to try to read, which is going to be a real struggle as the Blom kickoff to start us here goes through the end zone, and that is going to lead to a touchback. They are wearing the Falcons, that is black uniforms with really dark green numbers on the front and the back. So we're going to try our best to identify who the players are as time is going by. They are wearing black pants as well with the dark green helmets. Oskaloosa wearing their road white uniforms trimmed in maroon on both the numbers on the front and the back, and then they're wearing the charcoal gray pants with the white stripe with the Indians in it on the side. Here's the handoff to the fullback right up the gut, and a good first down pickup for the fullback coming through the middle. Again, trying to read who that is really impossible almost, but
excellent play there by the Falcons. A quick hitter right up the middle. They come with a little split back and 2 wide receivers, which might have caught Oskaloosa off guard a little bit.
Bryce Menon is the guy who carried the ball there straight up the gut, according to the roster we received. First and 10 after a pickup of 17. They're going to go right back to it. Ball's out. Oskaloosa says they have it. And they do. How about that to get it back as soon as you give up a big play on the first play of the game?
Well, that's a good sign. There's a flag down on the play. We'll have to see what it is.
I actually think that was a beanbag.
Oh, that was. Okay.
Yeah, so there we go. Just like the Fairfield game, almost immediately the defense gets a turnover.
Yeah, we needed that, so let's see if we can put it in right here. And it does look like West Burlington's starting quarterback is on crutches on the sideline.
Starting or tailback.
Tailback.
Whaley. Yep, you're right. 4 wide receivers for Oskaloosa. Howard takes a snap. He's going to throw a screen pass to DeCock here on the near side. Ball punched out from behind him, but it's going to go out of bounds. And it'll keep it with Oskaloosa, and the ball will be spotted out at the 29-yard line. That'll be a good for 9.
Well, a break there for Oskaloosa. Tanner made the catch, had a nice run. He is wearing on his elbows some pads, and he said earlier in the year he didn't like that. His arms have been getting beat up on defense, and I don't know if that had an effect on that or not right there.
Yeah, it was punched out from behind on the player that was trying to tackle him. 4 wide on 2nd and 1 here. It's going to be a handoff to Hill straight up the gut. He's got the first down to the 26-yard line.
Well, looked like he had some daylight to the left there if he plants and cuts, but first down for Oskaloosa right off the bat, so good start for the Indians on offense.
Nearing the red zone as well. 11:10 to go. Oskaloosa already had forced a turnover. It's going to be Cole Henry to the far side. Got a couple of backs now. DeCock in as a fullback. Out of the gun is Howard with a couple wide receivers to the near side. Miller comes in motion, and he's going to get it on the reverse. He's going to cut it up. He's got some lead blockers in front of him. Hill and Henry help give him plenty of space down the field. That's going to be 1st and goal inside the 10, down to about the 6, maybe even down to about the 5. That was textbook how you want to run that.
Nice play there. Look, it's kind of a jet sweep, but it's got some lead blockers out there. They had Tanner lined up in almost a more conventional fullback formation, and I like that play.
That was a great play, and good blocking on both ends, and I think it was Blake Van Veldhuizen who ended up kicking out on that far side. Same formation except to the other side. They're going to fake it and go with a counter to Hill, but a good job blasting into the backfield by West Burlington Notre Dame.
Well, they tried a little counter action, just got beat up. I'm not sure what happened there.
Austin Mixer was the guy who's going to get credit for the tackle for loss. They lose about 4 on the play, and that'll bring up 2nd and goal from the 11.
We got beat right in between the guard and center gap, it looked like right here.
2nd and goal, same formation. More of a weak set, though, in the backfield with DeCock on the opposite side from Hill. They're going to both be in pass protection. A fade looking for Henry in the corner of the end zone. He goes up, and could he reel it? No. Ball squirts out. That's good defense on the near side by Colton Hohenthaner.
Excellent play by the defensive or the cornerback there for West Burlington. He got his head turned. He had good coverage, and he got the ball at the highest point. A good throw by Howard to Henry. Henry did have his hands on it. He just couldn't pull it in.
Hohenthaner in that specific spot is got a challenge with a 6'8" guy that's trying to go up over him. But as you mentioned, he did a good job of kind of boxing Henry out and was able to go get it at the high point. It's 3 wide receivers to the near side on 3rd and goal. Howard rolling out to the left, fires toward the end zone, and it's caught. And it's out at the 1-yard line by Alex Chapman. I think he thought he was in the end zone, but he was close. The football has to cross the line, not your feet. So they're going to mark him at about the half-yard line. It was a good play selection, but Oskaloosa's going to hurry up and quickly go with Blake Van Veldhuizen now in the backfield.
I don't like this. I mean, we should be able to just bulldoze right ahead here.
Henry's going to run off real quick.
Take your time. Get set.
We do not have a play clock. There's going to be a snap to Howard.
He got it.
Sneak it, and he's got it. Touchdown, Seth Howard.
He almost fumbled the snap there. He bobbled it. Seth is not used to going under center, and that has been a problem all year.
Well, they fumbled once trying to do it at Fairfield. Last week, they got stopped right at the line of scrimmage.
Yep, so I don't know that that's really a good thing for us to do anymore. We just haven't been able to figure that out.
Here's the snap, and the kick from Blom is on its way, and it is good. 7-0 Oskaloosa, 2 minutes and 15 seconds in, off to a good start, trying to take care of the business they can control. We'll take a quick break and be back with more after this on the No Coast Network.
Wonder what the outrageously energizing experience of Mountain Dew Kickstart is like? Well, it's like a combo of 3 awesome things: Dew, juice, and caffeine rebooting your entire personal operating system.
Mountain Dew Kickstart is in position in full consumption.
Release the Mountain Dew Kickstart.
Mountain Dew Kickstart released. Experiencing a charge of Mountain Dew Kickstart now.
Mountain Dew Kickstart operation successful.
Roger that.
Get charged up with Mountain Dew Kickstart, now in 2 energizing new flavors, mango lime and raspberry citrus. Fuel with flavor.
Oskaloosa gets a turnover on the second play from West Burlington. They are able to punch it in on 4th and goal from the half-yard line on a sneak by Seth Howard. He's got a lot of rushing touchdowns, Doug. A little precarious under center, but at the same time, this is exactly what you wanted as an Oskaloosa fan early on in this game.
Yeah, I thought Seth threw some nice balls there. That ball to Henry was right where it should be. And the throw to Chapman rolling left and throwing there in the left pylon. It almost looked like the Raiders touchdown last night against the Chiefs on the last play of the game. So Seth comes out throwing the ball well. Let's hope our defense can stick it in there.
9:45 remaining in the first quarter. Oskaloosa really needs to win by 17 or more here, just to give themselves as best a chance as possible. You get capped at 17. That's why that's the magic number. As Blom boots this one, and this will be a touchback as well. As soon as it crosses that goal line, it's going to be a touchback, even if the receiving team was thinking about returning it out. 7-0 Oskaloosa. The Falcons will start it from their 20. Again, you'll have to bear with us trying to identify their players. You know, I spend all week trying to, get myself adjusted to their numbers and their names. Sometimes there's always those schools that actually have different numbered uniforms for some of the kids. And then, of course, you get this situation where you just can't even read what the numbers are from far away. So we'll give you the best information we can. Wishbone-style offense, of course, and there's going to be a false start on West Burlington. This hasn't been a clean team all year, Doug.
No, and I think what's happened is with their with their tailback out of the game, it has changed the way they're going to play this game. They've got 2 backs, and they're running just more of a conventional 2 backs, 2 wide receiver set, and not going with their option attack right now.
Darius Whaley was their second leading rusher for 416 yards on 67 carries. That's a 6.2 average per carry. They're going to give it to the first back through. He's going to get about 4 to the 19-yard line before being brought down by a gaggle of Indians. Satimi was the first man there. Cruz also went on the play, and it'll be 2nd and 11.
So we got a lot of running going on tonight. We might have a fairly quick game.
That's what we talked about.
Seem to be running along. It looks like we got a decent officiating crew, and I'm not sure.
I talked to Coach Mike Sterner before the game, and he said this might go fast, but knowing our games, it may not. 2 wide receivers and the 2 backs. This is going to be keeper by the quarterback Day, kind of slowly developing play. And Dykstra from the backside able to make the tackle, as that was Tanner Snodgrass who had the football.
Yeah, nice play by Nick pursuing from the backside. Jared was holding his guy up. So far the Oski defense, other than that first play, they caught him with a quick hitter up the middle, has done a good job.
What's interesting is Drake Day, who was listed at quarterback because of his passing this season, he's on the sideline. So Snodgrass is the guy who's taking the snaps under center. 8.5 to go. Snodgrass takes the snap, and he's going to try to hand it off to the fullback, and he is buried. Big Biscuit along with Kraber and Dykstra in. That was Brian Brim, a senior, who gained nothing, and it's 4th and 11.
Okay, here we go. Tyler, this is the time to shine. This is if he can catch the ball. We want to first thing we want to do is catch the ball in the air, and then Tyler's liable to take one all the way tonight.
Well, he did return a kickoff, which is even harder than a punt return to return last week.
And Oski's setting up for a return.
This is going to be a low kick, returnable, but he's going to call a fair catch, as it was a short kick, and did a good job of not letting it bounce. It's been something you've been talking about this season, and I think that's progressively gotten better since that Fairfield game where it took about 6 punts for him to catch one.
Yeah, that was an excellent job there. He had to run up on the ball, so he was actually getting close to the defenders. He got his hand up, and he made a nice catch. That saves you 10, 15 yards probably on a roll. So good job by Tyler on the punt.
7:57 left in the first quarter. It's 7-0 Oskaloosa with the lead. And the offense comes back out with another relatively short field here to work with. Howard is going to have 2 wide receivers to the far side and 2 to the near side. Cruz and Henry both in the game. They are on the outside of both sides. Hill in the backfield. Howard takes a snap, looking to throw. A little timing route to Cruz. He makes the catch inside the 40 down to about the 37-yard line. Those timing routes can be a little dangerous if the receiver and the quarterback aren't on the same page, but so far it seems like Oskaloosa's offense is pretty sharp.
Yeah, good. Once again, Seth Howard is throwing the ball very well tonight, spreading it around a little bit, so let's keep it up.
Second and about 3.5. He's going to fake it to Hill, keep it himself, but good penetration on that far side by West Burlington.
Howard sack.
The first man in there, I believe, was Mixer. And Colton Hohenthaler again, kind of crashing in from the outside.
Sacked by Travis Willis.
Third and about 6 for Oskaloosa at the 40 of the Falcons. Just over 7 minutes to play. We do not have a play clock to look at, so the back judge will put his hand in the air when it gets down to 5 seconds. He's keeping track of it on a stopwatch. Here's the snap. Howard's going to keep it himself, try to cut it back. Breaks a tackle. He's at the 35. Ball gets punched out from behind, and it's going to be picked up. But they're going to say
they called him down. Lucky break for the Indians.
Yes, very lucky, as it was Drake Day, who's playing safety, who was able to pick up the football, but it looked like he was fighting for yardage. The ball got punched out from behind. That's the second time they've done that. That must be something they like to work on as they try to make tackles.
Yeah, they come with that rip, they call it, when they swing their arm down across your arms in the ball, and we need to be aware of that and take care of the football. We got a huge break there. That wasn't a fumble. 4th and 1,
they're going to go for it in no man's land here at the 35. That was a break, though. It looked like he very well could have still been up, but of course no replay here. And West Burlington Notre Dame's going to have to find a way to get a stop here. Load the box, 3 down linemen, but they have 4 guys who are playing linebacker. And Howard's going to try to tiptoe his way. He's got the first down to about the 30. Pick up a 5. And Oski, for the second time, picks up a 4th down.
Yeah, nice play there. I think we're better off just getting back instead of going under center. Seth is obviously not comfortable with going under center, so just snap the ball back to him. He gets to see the hole a little bit better from there, and he gets a little run at it.
Yeah, it's kind of like a draw. You just kind of sees where the hole is, if there isn't a specific hole, as he's looking to throw here on 1st and 10, throws it down the middle of the field, just out of the reach of Cole Henry. That was solid coverage again by West Burlington on that far side. The safety kind of got out of position at the end, trying to make a play on the ball, but still the one-on-one coverage on the outside seems to be working for West Burlington so far in the early going.
Yeah, they've done a pretty decent job. One thing that I don't know what it is, but we do not seem to attack the 7-yard area behind in the center of the field. We just, all our routes seem to be going vertical or out towards the sideline, and a lot of times Washington was blitzing up the middle.
Here's a little screen pass to Tyler Miller, one-on-one. He's going to make his man miss. He's inside the 25, inside the 20, trying to win a race to the goal line. He breaks a couple of tackles, and they're going to say he stepped out just before he was able to squirt into the end zone at about the 5, maybe the 6-yard line, and that's what speed will do, and his agility was able to make a man miss in the open field.
Yeah, nice catch too. He picked that off his shoelaces, and then he got turned upfield. Tyler is a powerful, quick back, and he showed it right there running through some arm tackles.
And he made some big catches down the field last week against Washington as well, so he's not only just a one-trick pony and you got to get him a screen pass to the line of scrimmage, he also can make catches down the field. 4 wide for Oski on 1st and goal from the 5. Here's the snap, another screen pass looking for Chapman, but it's over his head and incomplete. That's always dangerous when you throw a screen pass incomplete, because you never know how that line judge is going to interpret that as maybe a forward pass or maybe a backwards pass or lateral, which would make that a live ball.
Yeah, and that wasn't going to go anywhere. Even if he did catch the ball, the defender was right on him. They're playing up on you down here at the goal line. It's kind of a tough route to score on because they're pressing you.
2nd and goal from the 5. 4 wide receivers, 2 to each side.
Casey Hill.
Hill is the back, Howard in the gun. And a false start, left tackle.
Penalty marker on the field.
Tucker Irwin just a little quick before the line of scrimmage, or before the snap at the line of scrimmage, and that'll break back Oski up 5, which may not be a terrible thing, because that might give them a little more room to run these routes and get a little bit more space from the defenders.
Yeah, excellent point, Emery. I couldn't agree more. Spreads the field a little bit, a little more room to move back there.
So 2-by-2 once again. It's 2nd and goal from the 10 now. The wind is blowing at Oskaloosa's back here. They're well within range of Aaron Blum if they so chose. Hill in motion. Howard looking to throw, fires in the middle of the field, just like you said, and Cruz makes the catch and dives into the end zone for a touchdown. Right on cue, Doug. You talk about it, Oskaloosa in between the hash marks don't typically complete a lot of balls, but right there, a little kind of he broke it down, kind of juked into the middle of the field, wide open space, good throw, and then Cruz gets the touchdown.
Well, and I think that's what we need to do. Washington was sending 2 linebackers up the middle. There's always a lot of teams are doing that. There's space over the middle there.
Blum on for the extra point. Oskaloosa well on their way to getting to that 17-point threshold. And the extra point from Blum is good. 5:39 left just in the first quarter, and it's 14-0 Oskaloosa the lead. We'll take a quick break and be back with more after this on the No Coast Network.
Dreams start early. Illustrated straight from the heart. Big or small, dreams take hard work to grow into reality. To bring your dreams to life, sometimes you need a little help. So surround yourself with people who believe in your dreams and count on Bank Iowa to help you reach them. Bank Iowa, for the dreamer in all of us.
5:39 left in the first quarter, 14-0, Oskaloosa the lead. And Doug, you're trying to keep as close an eye on the scores as possible. Of course, we're still very early in what's happening, but what we're seeing on the scoreboard is still very friendly to our eyes.
Yes, good news for Oskaloosa fans right now. Spirit Lake and Bishop Heelan are knotted at 0, and that's got to be at least midway or late in the second quarter.
Because they started 30 minutes before we did.
They started at 7 o'clock. The other game of interest is Carlisle and Norwalk. Carlisle with an 8-0 lead, and we need them to win by 8 points.
At least 8 points. In a perfect world, it would just be 17 one way or the other for Norwalk and Carlisle, and you wouldn't have to sweat maybe any weird calculation that you have going on there. Another score that I saw there of interest, Pella Christian leading 17-0 over Woodward Granger. And that, even though Woodward Granger's kind of snuck up on some people, that technically would be for the district title. Pella Christian has not sewn that up because Woodward Granger hasn't lost in about 5 weeks. So, so that's one we're looking for as PC looks to try to clinch a home field for a football game in the playoffs. Is this kickoff to the 1-yard line from Blom. Returning it are the Falcons. Cade Snakenberg going to hold up the return man, and eventually he'll be pushed out of bounds.
So at 7:48, things look good for the Indians.
Daniel Cooks was the man on the return there for the Falcons. We need to try to create, Doug, a mandate for football teams and basketball teams.
Yeah, their lettering.
For their uniforms.
Yeah, well, there is.
Well,
I mean, it's the size of your letters, but yeah, there should be
like a color, right?
Yeah, a color. There needs to be a color mandate.
You got to get your uniforms approved by the state of Iowa, and they should talk to us.
This is hard to see.
It's impossible. I could have binoculars all day, and it's not going to help me. 1st and 10, they're going to spot it at the 24-yard line. The snap, they're going to hand it to the first man through, and Oskaloosa, outside of the first play of the game, has not yielded a positive play except for one handoff that gained 4 yards last drive.
Well, and I'm also looking out there. I was a little worried because I didn't see Tanner on offense, but he is out there on defense, and he looks like he's perfectly fine. A lot of times if he isn't out there, I worry about him having something wrong with him, but I like that. It gives him a rest. Playing linebacker undersized like he does, that can only keep him fresh throughout the game.
Yeah, and he is not wearing those
he took them
elbow pads. Oskaloosa is loading the box up. Here's the snap, and there's going to be a throw here. Day looking to throw over the middle. It hit as he threw. Dykstra was the man that got into the backfield. Incomplete pass. So the scouting report might be is when Drake Day is in the game, be aware of the pass. Otherwise, maybe not.
And I know number 11, Sparky Alex DeYoung, is licking his chops. He is currently tied with a record set in 1962 through 64 with 13 career interceptions. So I think he's hoping just give me a couple chances tonight.
We'll see. They don't throw it very much at all, and especially with Whaley not available, who knows how much they might look to the pass. Here's Snodgrass. He's going to try to keep it, but he's going to be tackled from behind. Great pursuit, and once again, Like we've been saying on repeat, Nick Dykstra on the tackle.
He is coming like he's like crazy from that backside end, and he's able to run the plays down. So good hustle. Nick's slanting right down the line. One thing you got to watch out for doing that though is a naked bootleg if you're selling out on that.
They're going to be back to punt. High snap. Oski comes after the block. Don't get it. Good punt. Fair catch by Miller, and he's going to be driven back to the 43-yard line. But that was an excellent punt by the punter.
It's hard I want to comment a little bit on Oskaloosa is going after these punts. They obviously have seen something on film. They had 3 or 4 guys right there, and the punter did a heck of a job.
Slater Griffith is the guy.
And it's frustrating, folks.
Well, and it doesn't help. Their own program doesn't have him on there. So,
yeah.
So I'm going to try really hard not to get angry at this, but no promises. 4:13 left in the first quarter. It's 14-0.
And Oskaloosa's offensive sets, now Tanner is back in. They've rotated Miller. Miller is basically kind of rotating around.
Here is going to be a little screen pass to that far side. It's going to be DeCock. Makes a couple of guys miss, and it's going to be tripped up after getting about 3 to the 45.5. Next Wednesday night, you'll be able to watch this game in its entirety on MCG Channel 7. Some technical difficulties going through us with our connection to MCG tonight, but of course you kind of ask for that when you go on the road like we do. But we'll have a full replay of this game in full with the help of the Oskaloosa Video Production Program at OHS, and that's going to be Wednesday night, 7 p.m. on MCG Channel 7. On second and about 8, here's a high pitch from Howard.
Terrible pitch.
And
high snap.
Hill's going to be tackled about 7 yards behind the line of scrimmage. It'll be third and about 15. But how he pitched it as well. It's just not.
No.
It's not good.
It's careless. That ball can be picked up.
Playing hot potato with it.
Snapping has been inconsistent. Well, our high snaps have been a problem. I'd much rather have it be low, where you can at least block it. But we're threatening to snap it over his head here one of these times.
3 minutes to go. Full back in is DeCock. Hill in motion of 3 wide receivers. They're going to set up a screen for DeCock, and it's a bad throw by Howard off his back foot.
Terrible offensive possession by the Indians there.
Specifically with some quarterback play, and overall, you just don't want to make mistakes. That was a dangerous pass. You missed your screen high, and that could just land in the lap of a defensive back and be real easy to just waltz for a touchdown the other way. So it's going to be Jaden Van Rukel. He's standing at his own 25, but with the wind at his back, who knows how far he can boot this one. Kind of gets it off the side of his foot. It's going to be a short punt, and it's going to get a huge roll. Wow, look at that roll. Inside the 20, inside the 15, and it's going to be down about the 11-yard line.
He kicked it so bad, the revolutions per second where you couldn't even see the ball spinning. It's hit the ground, and it just took off like, what's that?
He probably got as much on the ground there as he did in the air.
Oh, absolutely. He got double. It bounced at the 45-yard line. Well, defense, you got to keep sticking it in there and holding them down. Offense bogged down right there, and there's the inconsistency we've talked about. I'd like to see the offense try to establish Casey Hill when they get the ball back a little bit and run the football on these guys.
Here's a little outside pitch, and that is going to be nothing on Brem. And, again, great pursuit from Oskaloosa, and they're not having any problems with this offense so far.
Yeah, good job by Keaton staying home there. He got a couple hands on him, couldn't bring him down, but Cruz was there to clean it up. And another loss of yardage for the Falcons on first down. They've been in second and long, other than the very first play of the game, every possession.
Coming to the line of scrimmage, 2 wide receivers, 1 at each side. Another handoff up the middle, and nothing doing for this Falcon offense. And at what point do they decide to abandon ship and try to do something else? I know they're missing Whaley, who's one of their big playmakers, but at this point, anything between the tackles is netting nothing.
Yeah, I think they're extremely handicapped, missing that running back. You know, it's already going to be a major assignment for them to try to stay in this game, and now it's become even harder.
3rd and 12. 2 backs, 2 wide receivers. And there's going to be another handoff straight up the gut. There's just nothing doing. Day handed it to Brem, and he just runs right into the tackles. And
well, you're right. Why not at least try to pass? They're just basically saying here, we're going to run it, tackle us, and we're going to punt it away. Now, Oskaloosa was close last time. Let's make sure we do not get a roughing the kicker call here.
And they don't hit the kicker. Long run for Miller, and he can't get there, and it's going to roll backwards, and he's going to escort it before it's down at about the 37. So a good punt into the wind, and that's going to be picked up, and first down for the Indians from there.
Well, there it is, the ball. And that was a tough one for Tyler. He had to run a long ways to his left to get the ball. So give the punter credit. Not only was it a good kick in the air, a deep kick, but then he gets the 15, 20-yard roll when it hits the ground. They kicked that from his own 10. That's 40, 50-plus yards.
And with the wind the way it is, that you're going to take that every time. And this situation is with 4 wide receivers. 47.6 seconds to go. Here's going to be a handoff to Hill. He's going to go up the gut and cross the 40 to about the 41. And that'll bring up a 2nd and 7 as we near the end of the first quarter.
Well, Emery, we need to be able to control the line of scrimmage, and we should be able to run it all the way down the field here.
I think a shoe malfunction.
Well, that's Brant Brown.
Brant Brown trying to get off the field.
Good. I mean, good that it's a shoe and not a knee or an ankle.
That's what it looked like, at least.
And Alex Labrecht checks in for him.
Last play of the quarter here. 4 wide receivers. The snap, a handoff to Hill again. Nice jump cut, and he's going to cross the 45. Still on his feet. He's going to be squirting toward the outside. That's a good job of wrapping him up. About a yard shy of the first down by the defender. But it will be 3rd and 1 for Oskaloosa near midfield, and that's the end of the first quarter. We'll take a short break, and when we come back, Oskaloosa trying to continue what they've done in the first quarter, leading 14-0 here on the No Coast Network.
Our roots are here in the middle of America, where humble beginnings can grow into great opportunities, where hard work and high standards are the key ingredients to success, where honesty and integrity matter. We're proud of our roots, proud to be a part of a community that shares our values, and grateful to our customers for giving us the opportunity to grow.
We love to help people with their smiles. Petrito Orthodontics of Ottumwa and Oskaloosa is all about creating beautiful smiles and increased self-esteem that lasts a lifetime. We specialize in creating individualized smiles by committing to make each visit a memorable experience. Our office is equipped with state-of-the-art technology to ensure optimum results. For help with your smile, call Petrito Orthodontics.
First quarter in the books, 14-0 our score. We apologize if you're having some issues. Internet here, we believe, is okay. We're trying to work on whatever issues we may have if you're having problems hearing us, seeing us. But we appreciate you for joining us either way. The good news, Oskaloosa leading 14-0. More good news, early scores are in Oskaloosa's favor at the moment, but there's still a lot of football to be played around the state of Iowa.
Yeah, and Heelan has just jumped up on Spirit Lake 8-0. They went for 2 on their first touchdown, and so they are up 8-0. Carlisle is up 8-3 now, and both those games are moving right along.
Yeah, Howard's got a big gap. He's going to turn it upfield. He's inside the 40, inside the 35, and he's going to be brought down at the 33-yard line. A good run on first down for the Indians. They did give Hill that first down yardage just before the end of the first quarter. And Oskaloosa into Falcon territory now, going from left to right into the wind. Three wide receivers line up to this near side with one to the far side. That's Cruz. It looks like he's got one-on-one out there. But the way they're running the ball now, Doug, you almost just kind of want them to try to solidify that up front, get up 3 scores, and then you can start figuring out how to get big plays.
Well, why get fancy? You should be able to do that.
Here's Hill, goes off right tackle, is going to be stood up and put down inside the 25 to the 21. Another first down run for Hill, and you can see what they're trying to do. They're more concerned with trying to punch the ball out than they are trying to bring the guys down.
Great point. I was going to mention that. They hold you up, and then they bring some other guys in, and they're stripping and pulling, but Oskaloosa is doing exactly what we just said they needed to do on this drive. Come out here and run the ball all the way down. Now, don't get cute here. Keep imposing your will on them and run it.
Just over 11 minutes to go in the first half, 14-0. Oskaloosa leading by 2 touchdowns. 3 wide receivers to the far side, 1 to the near side. Blitz coming. It's going to be a little screen pass to Hill. Hill does make a man miss, and he's going to go across the 15, inside the 10, inside the 5, and he's in. Touchdown, Casey Hill. It didn't look promising from the start, but Chapman was able to get enough of his block that allowed Hill to go to the outside and beat everybody to the pylon. That is going to be a touchdown for Oskaloosa, and they lead it 20-0.
Yeah, that was a formation I have not seen this year. We had 3 guys in almost a triangle over there on the edge of the line, and it did not look like it was going to go there. One of the West Burlington guys was in there, but Hill was able to bounce it outside and take it to the house.
Blom on for the extra point. Snap, hold, kick is up, and the kick is good. 21-0. Oskaloosa in that zone they want to be in. And with 10:51 left first half, still plenty of time left. We'll go ahead and take a quick break and be back with more after this on the No Coast Network.
We love to help people with their smiles. Petrito Orthodontics of Ottumwa and Oskaloosa is all about creating beautiful smiles and increased self-esteem that lasts a lifetime. We specialize in creating individualized smiles by committing to make each visit a memorable experience. Our office is equipped with state-of-the-art technology to ensure optimum results. For help with your smile, call Petrito Orthodontics.
Plow Valve Company of Oskaloosa is very proud of all area students involved in any school activities. They know that being involved takes dedication and hard work put forth by each student. Plow Valve Company reminds you to support our area students in the various activities that they're involved in. School activities are important in molding young people into healthy, successful adults, as they are an important part of a good community. Congratulations to all area students from Plow Valve Company in Oskaloosa.
21-0 Oskaloosa over West Burlington, and the timeout, the first of 21-0, the score with 8:39 to go.
So they are going to attempt the field goal here, and it's going to be about a 32-yarder.
21-0 the score, and the field goal unit is out there.
You got to watch for a fake here, too.
Lining it up, snap is down, the kick is up. It is on the way. It looks pretty good, and it is good. How about that?
Yeah,
21-0, and now it's 21-3 after a field goal by Slater Gifford. We'll go ahead and we'll take a quick break. When we come back, we'll have more for you. 21-3 our score. With Oskaloosa still in the lead, and they'll have the football when we return here on the No Coast Network.
Whatever they went through together.
Welcome, guys.
Life well planned. See what a Raymond James financial advisor can do for you.
Welcome back. Oskaloosa the lead. 21-3 now our score. And with 8.5 still left here in the second quarter, Oskaloosa, you'd like them to answer that field goal, wouldn't you, Doug?
Yes, I would, and kind of the same thing. Let's run the ball, but let's give West Burlington some credit there. Some nice runs. They got some positive yards and a nice field goal kick. That would have been good from probably 40.
And we talked about it. The kicking looked good in the air, but it wasn't as though we thought he had much range. Well, that looked very good, and that was with the wind at his back. So.
Yes, and he in warm-ups he was kicking into the wind that I saw.
Slater Gifford. Set to kick off.
We do have some updates. Carlisle has now gone ahead 15-3, and Heelan is up 8-0 on Spirit Lake.
Line drive kick received at the 3-yard line by Tyler Miller. He goes right up the gut, gets a couple of blocks. He breaks a tackle. He's going to go outside, crosses the 30, crosses the 40, and he's got some space yet. Across midfield, he's going to come back. He's going to try to make it all the way.
Inside he clipped.
No flag. Inside the 20, inside the 10. Touchdown, Miller. 97 yards.
Oh, he spun out of some tackles. Thank goodness. It looked like a block in the back all the way down here at the Oskaloosa 20-yard line. And luckily, we didn't get called on that. Heck of a run by Tyler Miller. We talked about it a little bit ago that tonight's a night where he can break one, and he just did it right there.
The second week in a row, he's got a 90-yard plus return for a touchdown.
Yeah, he's going to be an exciting player to watch the next 2 years at Oskaloosa.
27-3 the score. And the extra point from Blom is on the way. Just to make things official, it's good. 28-3 with 8:15 to go. Oskaloosa doesn't need the offense on the field to answer, as it is now a 25-point game. We'll take a quick break and be back with more after this on the No Coast Network.
Experience the Bruxvort's difference. We aim to provide you with the best value and better service than can be found anywhere else. After 36 years, we're still as committed to our customers and our community as the day we first opened our doors. Please stop in and give us a chance to prove how important our customers are to us.
8:15 to go here in this first half. 28-3. Oskaloosa with the lead. They've had the one bad offensive possession, but other than that, Oskaloosa has looked very good in all three phases of the game.
Yeah, special teams has been consistently good all year, and once again tonight it has been good. So Oskaloosa stretching it out here. Things are looking good in the other games as Carlisle leads 15-3, and Spirit Lake has scored against Bishop Heelan. It is 8-3. It should at the half in Spirit Lake.
Back to receive for the Falcons.
Independence and Decorah is still a close score, but it seems like everybody's already kind of cashed that one in.
Yeah, it's 14-7 in the first. But, yeah, I've kind of cashed that one in.
Not going to catch Decorah. Unless Independence can find a way, you
Yeah.
never know. We've seen weirder things.
I heard that the wind was, on the forecast, said the wind was really bad in the western part of the state, which may be affecting that Heelan Spirit Lake game.
Here's Blom for the kickoff into the wind. He's going to have a more conventional kickoff this time, and it'll be received at the 8-yard line with a running start. Across the 20, across 25, and they got some space across the 40, and Blom makes a nice tackle. Snodgrass.
Well, I jinxed him, didn't I?
Hey, Snodgrass, good-looking athlete, and he's been running things from the quarterback spot most of tonight.
Well, if you're Oskaloosa, you've got to, yeah, I know it's hard, but you've got to keep playing hard here. There's too much on the line right now to let up, and defensively, and then right there, our special teams, West Burlington found some yardage.
28-3. Oski the lead, 8:08 to go. One wide receiver to each side and two backs. One tight end. Here's the snap. Snodgrass is going to hand it off. And good push again up the middle. And it'll be a gain of about 7.
That's a really quick hitter, and Tanner's going to have to either stay home and stop blitzing a gap and just play straight up and try to slow that down, that quick hitter. If they catch us in a blitz there, that thing, as fast as he is, that thing could go.
2nd and 3 from the 46.
One wide receiver to each side with two backs. Ball in Oski territory at the Indian 46. Snodgrass takes the snap, and good penetration. Snodgrass eventually rips it out, trying to find some space.
Oh,
and he does a great job, gets a first down before Van Rukel puts him on the ground. He's going to gain 6 yards. And that was blown up in the backfield. Snodgrass showing his agility.
Well, I had him for a 5-yard loss. That's just a matter of guys not continuing to go through the play and quitting on the play, and he's able to break it back and get the first down. We've got to do better than that.
28-3 is our score. Oskaloosa in control, but West Burlington Notre Dame's offense has kind of gotten going here the last couple of drives. One wide receiver to each side. Here's the snap, another handoff to the first back through. Ball's out, and it's still loose. Ball's still free. Oskaloosa thinks they have it.
Got it.
And they do have it. Oskaloosa's got the football. That ball was kind of pinballing around after it was dropped by Brian Brim on the handoff.
I think Tanner
by Tanner DeCock.
Tanner DeCock on the recovery. So, well, a nice run, though. They had eight yards there, or the ball squirted 8 yards. So our defense needs to get it together a little bit, start stuffing them again.
The offense will have it at their own 34-yard line with 6:53 to go.
Update on the score, Minneapolis and Mid-Prairie.
There you go, Emery. Mediapolis and Mid-Prairie.
13, Mid-Prairie, 14.
Yeah, I don't know how much playoff implications that one has, but either way, little screen pass. This is Chapman. He turns it upfield, breaks a couple of tackles at the same time, and gets out to the 39-yard line.
That's a busted play. We had two guys looking for the ball over there, and I got to give Tyler Miller a little bit of a break here. He is playing 2 or 3 different receiver positions, and he's having to learn all these routes and signals. So I think maybe he was in the wrong place on that one.
6:20 to go and counting. 4 wide receivers. Fake handoff from Howard, and it's that little option play. He's able to turn it up. He's got some space in front of him. He's across the first down yard marker, and he's going to cross midfield to about the 47-yard line on the far side. That play, you don't like that play? That play's slow developing, but he is able to get north-south very quickly.
Well, that actually, if you're playing defense on that, you should almost go for the quarterback, because if he passes it, we almost always have a guy downfield on that rollout play right there.
6:13 left, and you got to get. I think a player's got an equipment malfunction for West Burlington. They have to get an adjustment out there.
So if he starts running at you, if you're on defense, just play the quarterback and make him pass it. Now, if he passes it behind the line of scrimmage, you can have linemen downfield.
Correct.
So, that play works. It worked last week.
It did. It did.
Before that, it hadn't really worked much, but it clicked right there.
Oskaloosa now with 3 wide receivers to the near side. And this is going to be a little quick screen pass to DeCock. He tries to get outside. There's a flag behind the play. That's the first one during a play that we've actually seen. You're going to throw it and adjust. It's going to be a hold on Oskaloosa after a pick of about 7 yards for DeCock, and that'll march 10 yards from where that flag ended up. But we haven't seen, like last week, it just felt like there were stoppages with the officiating pretty much every play, or every other play at least. This is our first in-game or during the play flag that's not a false start on either team.
Well, isn't that refreshing?
Maybe a little bit.
After last week's fiasco, I wonder if these referees know what went on last week. I'm just curious, and they're like, you know what, let's let this game go.
Oskaloosa 28-3 lead, but now face a first and about 18. Ball spotted at their own 45 after the 10-yard holding call. Emery Songer, Doug DeCock with you. Just quarter past top of the 8 o'clock hour. The snap to Howard. He rolls to his left, looking down the field, throws it over the middle, or over at the outside the numbers. My mistake, but it's DeCock on the catch, and he had about where he was at on the previous play with the penalty, and it's going to bring up a second and short at about the 39-yard line in Falcon territory.
Yeah, nice job there. We got a little extracurricular going with Tucker Irwin and one of the defenders. These referees are calling them over right now, and they're going to get control of this.
It's a different version of control than we saw last week.
I'm not sure what he's saying. He had a conversation with the Oskaloosa bench and was talking to Tucker Irwin, and I saw him go off. I think Tucker was just blocking his guy through the play.
Either way, it's 2nd and 1.
Nice.
4 wide receivers. And a handoff, Hill straight up the gut. He's got first down yardage inside the 30. He's inside the 20, carrying guys inside the 15, and he's going to be brought down at about the 13-yard line. Man, he runs heavy.
Yeah, he's running downhill tonight, and good job by our offensive line. That last play on that pass to Tanner, Seth Howard threw another nice ball rolling out left. So Oskaloosa once again in business at about the 14-yard line.
5 minutes to go here in this second quarter, 28-3, Oskaloosa the lead. 4 wide, another fake. This time is Howard keeping it, plenty of space. He runs over a man inside the 10 and near the goal line, and they'll say he's down at the 1.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a 13-yard run, and he didn't get contact until about the 5-yard line.
Well, one of our linemen stopped and did not continue blocking on through, and he almost ran over his own lineman. We just got to keep going and hitting people till you hear the whistle.
Blake Van Veldhuizen is the lone back. Howard under center, takes the snap, hands it to him. He's going to be hit immediately, but falls into the end zone. Big Biscuit just scored a rushing touchdown.
Well, good for him. I bet he's excited to get his first. I think that might be his first ever rushing touchdown. I don't know. He might have got one in middle school, but I don't know.
How about that?
Veldhuizen.
Wow. You see, that's about the 4th time they've lined up in that the last few weeks, so the last couple of weeks especially.
Well, they have a playoff of that.
But they've not even looked at him in each of those scenarios.
Yeah, and this is actually good.
The extra point on the way. Good.
Continue that thought after you get finished.
35-3 our score, 4:31 to go here in this second quarter. Oskaloosa also looking at some other scores from around the state. Carlisle leading Norwalk 22-3, and Bishop Heelan still an 8-3 lead over Spirit Lake. So a few things that need to go right for Oskaloosa, and they're looking pretty good so far. Also, Decorah 14-7 lead over Independence, another big score Oski's looking at. And then 17-0 still with PC over Woodward Granger, looking for a Class 1A District 6 championship, or District 5 championship, my mistake. if you have not heard us and you've been struggling to hear us, we have tried to fix the issue. Hopefully you're hearing us now. Emery Songer, Doug DeCock with you. We apologize for any of the technical difficulties. If you want to watch our video stream live and in complete form, Wednesday night next week at 7 p.m. on MCG Channel 7. We'll have a full replay for you. And hopefully it's going to be celebratory. And not only Oskaloosa well on their way to winning this game, leading 35-3, but looking to try to win themselves a spot into the playoffs. But we talked about it, though, Doug. A lot has to happen, and you just want to take care of your business here first.
Well, they're doing a good job of that so far. We've had a few breakdowns, and I tend to get a little bit perfectionist on us, but we're doing exactly what we need to. We got 35 points. So good job so far by the Indians.
4.5 to go here in the first half. And Blom the kick. A line drive nearing the sideline. It's going to be received at the 10. Trying to work his way downfield. That's a good kickoff by Blom because for a lot of different reasons. Schultz on the stop over there for Oskaloosa along with Keaton DeCock. But I like that directional kicking because if you get your coverage guys down there in their lanes, you have really only one way to go.
Yeah, nice to see Ike Schultz back out there. He's been battling a foot problem for almost the whole year, so he's finally gotten healthy enough to get back on the field, and he makes a tackle, and he just makes your special teams even better.
And what's interesting is that you might not have heard his name a whole lot for Oskaloosa sports, but he's going to be a major player in a lot of sports for the Indians the next few years. Here's going to be a fake handoff. Snodgrass trying to get to the outside. He does. Silvers didn't keep contained very well that time, and he's going to be tackled by Van Rukel at the 31-yard line, a gain of about 7.
Yeah, Calvin, I'm not sure. He got sucked in on that play, and quarterback was able to get outside of contain.
Is it lackadaisical play because of scoreboard?
Well, I mean, that's
you kind of lose your head a little bit.
That's human nature, but you can't do that. I mean, they get a couple touchdowns here. You never know. I don't know. I'd rather once we get it up to maybe 42-3, then. But you got to keep playing hard and smart.
3:50 to go in the second quarter. The snap, a handoff right up the gut. Van Rukel saved a touchdown there because blasting through the first 2 levels again on a big run was Brian Brem, who has kind of gotten going here the last few drives.
And he punishes you when he meets you. He is a hard runner.
He had no interest in going around Van Rukel.
And we have not stopped that play one time tonight. They have gashed us right up the middle, and Van Rukel saves a touchdown right there.
Brem averaging just 3.5 yards per carry on the season, but the last few drives, he has definitely put some on Oskaloosa. 2 wide receivers and the 2 backs. Once again, the snap, and this is going to be Day, and then he's going to pitch it to the outside, and DeYoung does a good job of slowing him up for Van Rukel and company to try to finish the tackle, a gain of about 6. So that's the first time we've actually seen the pitch tonight. A triple option offense, and the first pitch we see is with 3 minutes left in the first half.
Well, what happens is your defensive ends start getting used to cracking down or whoever. We saw Calvin do it over here.
Yeah.
You get a little lackadaisical and you want to dive in there and get the play inside because that's where they've been. And all of a sudden now they break one to the outside.
Gain of 6 on the play, 2nd and 4 from the Falcons' own 47-yard line. 2:40 to go. They still have 2 timeouts. And it's going to be just a natural pitch looking toward the outside.
Holding, man, that was terrible holding.
Inside the 45, inside the 40, Snodgrass is able to lower his head down to about the 36-yard line and first down.
I cannot believe Nick Dykstra was held for 15 yards on that.
Yeah, but I'll trade you the Miller touchdown. We didn't get called for a pretty obvious clipping for that not to be called. Fair? Fair?
That's fair. Man, he could not get away to contain from the hold. And
fair?
West Burlington.
No,
okay.
I mean, like, that's fair trade, right? Fair trade.
Fair trade. You thought that was a clip, too, didn't you?
I definitely thought it was
I
a
did,
clip.
too.
Definitely got away from one there. Anyways, just over 2 minutes to play. Day's going to look to throw. And he's under pressure. He's running for his life. He's got to throw this away. And he finally does. Almost kept it in play.
Smart play.
But he was running to his right and backpedaling. And if he was going to wait a couple more seconds, he would have been tackled by Dykstra or Keaton DeCock about 25 yards behind the line of scrimmage. So it was good for him and for the Falcons that he was able to get rid of that one.
Yeah, it took everything he had just to get – they're going to call personal or foul on Oskaloosa.
No, I think that's a unsportsmanlike. Yep. You're right.
I think the Oskaloosa coaches are a little bit upset here that they're letting a lot of stuff go.
It's the opposite of last week.
Primary education sideline warning on Oskaloosa.
Oh, thank goodness. Sideline warning.
Well, that's not a sideline warning. That is an unsportsmanlike conduct. Sideline warning is a different signal.
That's right. It's with your hands.
Yeah, the hands have to, like, you're flapping a wing.
Yep.
That is like you're a bird, right? Like you're the sideline warning, you're pushing. Parallel. Unsportsmanlike conduct is you're a bird. And they did the bird out there.
Quite honestly, that might be a coach trying to light a fire under this defense right now that's getting gashed.
Well, Coach Jenkins said the late call that he was able to draw was he just wanted to make everybody know that he was talking to the official, mainly his players and the fans alike. So maybe that is exactly what it is, Doug. A quick handoff up the middle for nothing. Maybe a gain of 1. It's going to be 2nd and 9 from the 20.
Well, a lot of times if you're playing, if you see your coach is out there and he's still in the heat of the game and he's arguing and he's trying to do the best he can, you feel like I better step my game up a little bit because this thing certainly is not out of reach when you're talking about winning by 17.
35-3. It is a 32-point game, but a couple touchdowns here or there could change things. West Burlington, Notre Dame, Danville, if you want to be exact. 1:20 to go with 2 timeouts at the 20-yard line. Snodgrass going to hand it to Brim. Flag in the middle of that play, and there it is. We're going to probably – and another flag. That's probably going to be 2.
Could be 2 against –
1 during the play and then 1 after the play.
So I'm not sure who was talking, but it might have paid off right there because you just got 2 flags.
The first one should be a hold on the Falcons, and the second
was a dead ball penalty.
So when Dykstra was tossed out of play, so both can be enforced.
They've been holding him. Now that doesn't offset any Oskaloosa penalties, so we're gonna count that one all the way off, unless they pick the flag up and say no.
Yeah, the one during the block in the back.
What?
No, hands to the face. It was hands to the face was the call on Oskaloosa. In the middle.
Replay the game. How do you block somebody?
It's not a block in the back. Our PA address announcer's having some problems. When it's on the defensive team, the penalty that's the exact same as a block in the back is illegal hands to the face.
Okay.
And then the personal foul after the play on Dykstra getting tossed to the ground does indeed negate both penalties, and that will bring up another 2nd and about 9 from the 20-yard line, and the clock is still running. So West Burlington needs to think about maybe tempo here a little bit because there's just 1 minute left in the second quarter. 2 wide receivers, 2 backs. Snodgrass is going to try to do a little counter. He's going to slip and fall down, gain of 3. And it'll be 3rd and about 6 at the 17 in Oski territory, and the clock's still running. And West Burlington not even looking like they're interested in taking a timeout here.
Well, I'm a little surprised by this.
Me too.
I'm not. What are they doing? They got 3 timeouts and they're letting the clock run.
They have 2 timeouts, but
I'm sorry.
Still. I mean, maybe they're just playing for the field goal again. I don't know. That doesn't make much sense to me, though. 2 wide receivers, 2 backs, 20 seconds left now, and a handoff to Brim, and he's got nothing. And now there's 10 seconds left.
Nice tackle there by Tanner. He wrapped him up, and they just let this burn out. Holy cow.
5 seconds left. Timeout. They will call time with
no, don't run off
left.
the field, everybody. They're going to get their timeout with 1 second.
Well, I mean, they were just so lackadaisical about it that I was just kind of like, he must have told them 3 plays ago what he was thinking.
Yeah, so here, okay, Alex Dion.
They're going to put.
Here's your chance.
They're going to put 2 seconds.
No,
they're gonna kick the field goal.
They're gonna throw a Hail Mary from.
No.
Yes, they are, and Alex DeYoung's gonna get his chance right here.
No.
Now, if that happens, you owe me an ice cream cone.
Okay.
All right.
If they do that, or if he gets an interception.
Well, they're gonna do that. They're gonna throw it in the end zone.
But if he gets an interception, ice cream cone.
Well, that's probably a step up from an ice cream cone. We're gonna go.
Come on.
We're gonna go for.
I didn't agree to that.
We're gonna go to maybe a steak.
What? I owe Matt Sable 2 steaks already.
I know. I saw that. Since you like giving people steaks.
No, I didn't know what was happening with the Chicago Cubs. I didn't think they'd be that good that fast. That's like 3 years old. Like I got to start paying these steaks off.
Hey, the price of meat's gone down. You're right. They are going to kick a field goal.
Hey, you owe me ice cream.
Yeah, good call, Emery.
Mystery Man, number 15, who they continuously say a different name every time they announce him. He's on for the, I'm going to go with Gifford. Snap, hold, kick on the way. Wow.
Jeez.
Holy cow, right through the middle. And that would have been good from 45-50.
That ball was booted, and he got it up quick. Oskaloosa's getting close to blocking it, but nice kick by the Falcons there.
Holy cow. Both of his kicks have been really impressive that side. Slater Gifford, how about it? You know what? He is now 5 for 6 in field goals on the season, and his long is now the 39-yarder we just saw. So good work by the Falcons, but Oskaloosa's done their job. At the half, they lead at 35-6. Final game of the regular season. Oskaloosa well on their way to taking care of their issue of business. We'll take a peek at the scores that matter otherwise when we return after this break right here on the No Coast Network.
Plow Valve Company of Oskaloosa is very proud of all area students involved in any school activities. They know that being involved takes dedication and hard work put forth by each student. Plow Valve Company reminds you to support our area students in the various activities that they're involved in. School activities are important in molding young people into healthy, successful adults, as they are an important part of a good community. Congratulations to all area students from Plow Valve Company in Oskaloosa.
At Kinetic Edge Physical Therapy, we're proud to keep the Oskaloosa Indians and their fans safe and feeling good on and off the field. Kinetic Edge Physical Therapy is the expert in injury care, orthopedics, and sports rehab, with a new facility in Oskaloosa, complete with an open gym area in addition to several private treatment rooms. If pain is bugging you, come see the experts at Kinetic Edge for a free injury screen. Find out more, including why the Oskaloosa Indians trust Kinetic Edge, at kineticedgept.com.
Wonder what the outrageously energizing experience of Mountain Dew Kickstart is like? Well, it's like a combo of 3 awesome things: Dew, juice, and caffeine, rebooting your entire personal operating system.
Mountain Dew Kickstart is in position for consumption.
Release the Mountain Dew Kickstart.
Mountain Dew Kickstart released. Experiencing a charge of Mountain Dew Kickstart now.
Mountain Dew Kickstart operation successful.
Roger that.
Get charged up with Mountain Dew Kickstart, now in 2 energizing new flavors: mango lime and raspberry citrus. Fuel with flavor.
Experience the Bruxfort's difference. We aim to provide you with the best value and better service than can be found anywhere else. After 36 years, we're still as committed to our customers and our community as the day we first opened our doors. Please stop in and give us a chance to prove how important our customers are to us.
Providing high-quality professional eye care with a truly caring staff is what Oskaloosa Vision Center has been doing for more than 30 years. With our state-of-the-art equipment, we can provide comprehensive eye exams, prescription glasses, and contact lenses, as well as medical care like eye infection and disease treatment, emergency eye care, and pre- and post-operative aid. Newborn to adult, we have the experience to meet all your eye care needs. Oskaloosa Vision Center. Come see us today.
If your savings and investments are sitting on the bench instead of meeting your goals, call Timeout to examine your investment lineup. Your game plan should include getting some investment advice from an experienced investment professional. I'm Bob Auld of Robert Auld Investments, an investment advisor with over 20 years of experience in Oskaloosa and southern Iowa. I would like to assist you with your investment strategies. Call 673-9448 or toll free at 1-800-444-AULD.
The West Burlington marching band out there and giving the fans here a great halftime performance. At the half for our football game, however, it's all Oskaloosa, 35-6. A couple of field goals in the second quarter by the Falcons. And Slater Gifford, who hit one from 38 yards away to give West Burlington Notre Dame Danville their second piece of points on this one. For the playoff implications, we're going to try to gather some more of those. We don't quite have them on our situation yet, so we're going to have those later on in the halftime show. But Oskaloosa, the first thing that they need to do is win by 17 or more. Well on their way to doing so, leading 35-6. Like to also plug that the Indians have themselves plenty to talk about tomorrow morning and the Indian Power Hour, 9 a.m. on 99.5 FM and AM 740 KMZN. Calvin Silvers, Cade Snakenberg, and Nick Ryder, all who have plenty to do with this football team. You'll be able to hear all things about what's happening in Oskaloosa High School, and of course keep yourself plugged in to what's happening not only with sports but other activities like music and 4-H. That's the Indian Power Hour on Saturday mornings at 9 a.m. on 99.5 FM and AM 740 KMZN and radio KMZN.com. Also tonight, if you're wondering what the other scores around our listening area are, and you are on your way back from a football game per se, or you're just wanting to check that out, be sure to tune in to both 104.9 FM KBOE and as well as here on 99.5 FM and AM 740 KMZN, as we'll have Scores and More presented by Bubbler. Taylor Howard will do the best he can to try to let you know not only who's won, but by what scores and who are going to be the teams in each of the 6 classes that will be representing each district and each class as wild cards in the playoffs. Oskaloosa still has themselves a chance. We're looking at a few different games, and we'll have those updates for you as well, as the Indians not only have to win by 17 plus, but they do not control their own destiny in that situation. They will have to find ways or hope that other teams kind of make surprises against teams that were expected to win to try to get into the playoffs. And of course, the official word on the playoff teams will be released by the Iowa High School Athletic Association just before midnight. They told us, they wouldn't tell us a hard time, they think midnight by the latest, that they will have the playoff teams, and then by 2 a.m. they'll have who's playing who in the first round of the playoffs. So that's all coming up later on tonight. We'll let you know the best that we can, but we'll take another break, and when we come back, we'll get you the updates of what's happening around the state when we return on the No Coast Network.
If you are looking for brand names close to home, then look no further than Penn Central Mall in Oskaloosa. Penn Central Mall has a wide variety of stores for people of all ages. Find the perfect pair of silver or Vigas jeans at Maurice's. Get a pair of Oakley sunglasses from the smiling staff at Eye Care Partners. Cozy up with Ashley Furniture from Gilworth Furniture. And find that dazzling diamond from Gardner Collier Jewelry. When you're done, grab a bite to eat at Miranchito or the Pizza Ranch. It's all at Penn Central Mall in Oskaloosa. Shop, walk, and enjoy Penn Central Mall.
Hawkeye Real Estate is your one-stop source for everything real estate in Mahaska County and the surrounding area. Whether commercial, residential, or acreages, we've got you covered with the area's largest pool of real estate professionals, full-time support staff, and property management services. With over $19 million in sales volume for 2016, Hawkeye continues to be Oskaloosa's leading real estate office. Discover what thousands already know. When it's time to make a move, get the Hawkeye Edge.
For over 30 years, Pella Printing has been leading the way in the print industry with quality equipment, modern facilities, and skilled staff. The Pella approach combines old world craftsmanship with today's cutting-edge technology to provide brilliant printed products at a value price. They take the time to understand clients' needs from design to pre-press to printing and delivery to build lasting relationships with their customers. Whether you need personalized graduation announcements, oversized posters and banners, marketing materials, or stationery, Pella Printing offers a broad assortment of quality printed products done with speed and precision. Pella Printing, where technology and craftsmanship meet.
You built a castle so that the prince and princess can live happily ever after. You brought the sunshine to shine upon the whole family's future. But when the sun hides behind the clouds, State Farm can help. We put the life back in life insurance to protect your family's finances, not only in the future, but today.
Call your State Farm agent Kelly Style in Oskaloosa today.
We love to help people with their smiles. Petrito Orthodontics of Ottumwa and Oskaloosa is all about creating beautiful smiles and increased self-esteem that lasts a lifetime. We specialize in creating individualized smiles by committing to make each visit a memorable experience. Our office is equipped with state-of-the-art technology to ensure optimum results. For help with your smile, call Petrito Orthodontics.
The student community at William Penn made an impression on me. It's a real statement that you can come here and be part of something real.
You have the opportunity to participate in activities.
The coaches are awesome. It's easy to play for coaches that care about you.
The real experiences at Penn have helped shape who I'm going to be when I graduate. I work harder because I want to be part of the conversation in class.
I am a leader.
I am a trailblazer.
I'm proud to be a statesman.
The marching band still on their halftime show. About 6 minutes until we start the second half. 35-6, Oskaloosa the lead. And Doug, you've been keeping an eye on the other scores that are important to Oskaloosa. And the first one, a little surprise to me, not apparently a surprise to you. Carlisle absolutely throttling Norwalk in the first half, 30-3, which would effectively eliminate that district from Oskaloosa's view. And the other two that we're watching, Independence and Decorah, we haven't got an update on that game for a while, but still pretty close between Bishop Heelan Catholic and Spear Lake.
Yeah, they're actually at 8-3 at halftime was the last score, but that game has moved to the third. I'm sure it's in the third quarter, and for some reason my updates here are not coming through quite as quick on that game and the Decorah game, but we were speaking during the commercial break there that interesting, when we were youngsters in 5th and 6th grade, even for tackle football, we were in a league with Carlisle and Norwalk, so we know those teams really well. I was mentioning to you, I'm not surprised. I am, the point differential, yeah, that's a little bigger, but I am not surprised that Carlisle is winning that game. If Carlisle can avoid Pella, they can make a deep run over in that side of the state, and they had Pella on the ropes for a while too.
It's one of the things that you can just line yourself up for, I guess. Every 3 or 4 years, Carlisle is just going to be really, really good, and a few years ago they were really good as well. Right now, if you're an Oskaloosa supporter, though, that's not the only game you're looking for. And as we talked about, the first thing you had to worry about was taking care of business. And in this first half tonight, Doug, so far, a situation where Oskaloosa's found themselves in pretty good shape. There's not a lot to complain about, I don't think, from our vantage point up here.
Yeah, it's they're doing what they should do, but you got to be careful. It's a 29-point advantage right now for the Indians, but if you give up a touchdown, which West Burlington has been really close on breaking that quick hitter up the middle, all of a sudden then you're down to a 22-point game, and they're within striking distance of getting that deficit below 17. So we need to come out here, put a couple touchdowns, and separate in the third quarter, and then we should be okay.
Yeah, and I'm continuing to try to look through Twitter updates as well to try to see if there's anything that we can try to spot otherwise. And yeah, it's going to be kind of just a crapshoot. High school football in the state of Iowa, although we enjoy it so much, there's just not a good way for us to monitor these scores unless we have people to text us the updates at every one of these games. So you'll have to bear with us the best that we can here, because it has been kind of a rough go of it for us a lot this season to try to gather some of the top 10s from around the state. So that's just me kind of being a little petty, but sometimes you just have to, you can only work with what you have, and for us, we're going to try to keep, to our best of our ability, try to keep you locked in, loaded for what is happening for Oskaloosa's portion of trying to get one of the wild card slots in Class 3A. So we'll go ahead and take another break. When we come back, we'll get you ready for the second half. Oskaloosa leading comfortably 35-6, and they'll receive the second half kickoff when we return here on the No Coast Network.
At Mahaska Drug in Oskaloosa, getting your prescription filled is easy. The large covered drive-thru and easy access to the front door is convenient, and the friendly staff is always ready to help you. With a variety of goods and home decor, Mahaska Drug is sure to have the perfect gift for any occasion. Have your favorite photos developed and framed at Mahaska Drug's framing counter, and cherish your memories for years to come. It's all at Mahaska Drug in Oskaloosa, where they have been committed to a healthy community for over 20 years. Call 673-3439 or stop in today.
Can I get some help?
Whatever they went through together.
Welcome, guys.
Life well planned. See what a Raymond James financial advisor can do for you.
Mahaska County Ag and Rural Development is dedicated to the promotion and improvement of rural economies and to the development of both vision and leadership to enhance the quality of life in all Mahaska County. Recently designated as a home base Iowa community, Mahaska County and the city of Oskaloosa are now welcoming veterans and transitioning service members for career opportunities in the area. This also includes an incentives package created through Mahaska County Ag and Rural Development. For more information on how to support the Home Base Iowa initiative, contact Deanne DeGroot at 641-672-2591.
Swim Sports is once again open in Oskaloosa. This is Doug DeCock, the new owner of Swims. Along with Doug Swim, we are happy to be open again. Swims has a wide variety of trophies, plaques, and engraving available to Oskaloosa and the surrounding areas. We have an assortment of uniforms, socks, and belts, along with other sporting goods at the store. Swim Sports also provides a full screen printing facility for your screen printing needs. Come check out the new store at 118 A Avenue East in Oskaloosa. The two Dougs would love to see you at Swim Sports.
Our roots are here in the middle of America, where humble beginnings can grow into great opportunities, where hard work and high standards are the key ingredients to success, where honesty and integrity matter. We're proud of our roots, proud to be a part of a community that shares our values, and grateful to our customers for giving us the opportunity to grow.
Dreams start early, illustrated straight from the heart. Big or small, dreams take hard work to grow into reality. To bring your dreams to life, sometimes you need a little help. So surround yourself with people who believe in your dreams and count on Bank Iowa to help you reach them. Bank Iowa, for the dreamer in all of us.
Halftime about to end. Both teams getting warmed up for the second half. 35-6, Oski the lead. Doug, what does Oskaloosa have to do to just keep the foot on the pedal, through the floor, get your 17-plus win here, feel good about yourself, and then begin your scoreboard watching after the game?
Well, they need to run the ball, I think. They came out and they established that in that one drive, and they need to continue to run the ball, not get fancy here. And then on defense, we got to tackle, play assignment football, and stay home. I think I don't like it when we blitz because we're opening ourselves up to a potential huge play if the running back creases us. So I'd play a little bit more base on defense, stay home, make them earn it all the way down the field. And then on offense, we need to run the ball.
I think it'd go a long way to just helping Oskaloosa relax about things just generally if they score on this first possession. And the special teams, of course, had themselves a nice big situation with the kickoff returns last week. Had a couple of huge special teams plays to start after halftime with Tyler Miller returning a kick for a touchdown. And then Zahir Mamoon, after a fumble was forced on the ensuing kickoff to Washington, picking it up and running it in for a touchdown. You can't really bank on that happening again, but you just want to stay sound as long as you need to. Get this into that running clock mode and then just try to have yourself some fun and hope your season isn't over. Yeah, and I think we received the second half kickoff here, so Tyler Miller's going to get his hands on the ball, or DJ Miles, either one of those guys. If Miller's already taken one to the house today. Busted up in there, they can get some big yards. So let's look at see if Oskaloosa, they look like they're fired up. To me, playing with emotion's key in football, and they have to keep that emotion level high for at least the third quarter. Teams getting ready to come onto the field, and we'll just try to keep looking at our scores from around the state, because you know what? You don't know. It's interesting. It looks like one game is coming in, that Carlisle game. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, that one I think Oskaloosa can officially check off the list unless Carlisle decides to fold up camp. And now we're down to two things happening. Really one, if one of those final two comes through, the Indians could be in business. This is kind of like election night. It is. You're just constantly refreshing your phones. The 15th precinct reports 55%. And speaking of which, there's an election in a couple weeks in Oskaloosa.
I saw that. They've had a few forums.
Yeah,
and,
City Council.
That should be interesting.
Couple of incumbents, Scotty Moore and Tom Walling, going against Wyatt Russell and Charlie Comfort, a couple who are trying to get themselves onto the City Council and at-large spots, as this will be through the hands of Miller and into the end zone. He tried to high point it to not let it get across the goal line and just could not reel it in. And it'll be a touchback, 1st and 10 from the 20 for Oskaloosa, and let's see the offense and what they can come out with.
That kicker's got a good leg. That was a line drive.
A lot better than what we saw in the pregame, for sure.
Well, in the pregame, he was kicking into that wind, so we really couldn't get a good read on him. Now that you look at it with the wind blowing like it is, hitting a 32-yarder is quite a feat.
Oh, absolutely. Also,
stands are packed over there with Oskaloosa people.
Yeah, I just find it very interesting whenever we approach people about trying to do broadcasts for the video. Well, you're going to take people away from our gate. I wish I could just have the numbers to prove that incorrect. As here's a quick handoff straight up the gut. Good job getting through the offensive lineman by the Falcons as Tyler Miller took the handoff and had nowhere to go. It'll be 2nd and about 12.
Well, see, I just don't understand that. We've had that problem. That's a loss of yardage on 1st down. There were 3 guys. Who did we block? I mean, there's only 3 on the line. I just don't get that on the negative yardage on 1st down carries. We had a problem with that early in the year against Pella. Almost every 1st down, we're losing yards.
It's a shotgun snap here for Miller. In motion, and Howard takes the snap, looking to throw. Got plenty of time, throws it. Wide open man is DeCock, and he's got it across the 40. He's at midfield, cuts it back, and he is going to be drugged down, but not before he carries a couple of players 10 more yards. Inside the 35, down to the 32. A little wheel route. That's how Tyler Miller scored a touchdown last week on a busted coverage, and that's exactly what they exploit there.
And Seth Howard threw an absolute rope out there. And that's what you do have to do into the wind. We talked about putting some air under it, but he threw a line drive, and Tanner was wide open on the sideline there, and he was one tackle away from busting that all the way. So good start for Oskaloosa here.
Alex Young and Alex Chapman are both to the near side as receivers. On the far side, it's DeCock, and I believe that is Cole Henry, with Miller in the backfield, and it's going to be a designed run keep for Howard across the 30, inside the 20, cuts it back, gets to the outside. He's looking for the corner of the pylon, inside the 10, inside the 5. Touchdown, Oskaloosa. 58 seconds is all it takes to go 80 yards, and it is 41-6 and the extra point to follow.
Well, Seth with a nice run. He gets turned upfield. He's really good at his sharp cuts. It's almost a jump cut, but he can stop on a dime there and change direction, and that's what he did, cutting it back across the middle of the field and outrunning them to the end zone.
So much versatility that Oskaloosa's had all season. And again, in this ball game against West Burlington Notre Dame, really taking care of business. 42-6 now after the extra point from Blom, and the Indians will have the running clock in effect following the kickoff. 11:02 to go. We'll take a quick break and be back with more after this on the No Coast Network.
Plow Valve Company of Oskaloosa is very proud of all area students involved in any school activities. They know that being involved takes dedication and hard work put forth by each student. Plow Valve Company. School activities are important in molding young people into healthy, successful adults, as they are an important part of a good community. Congratulations to all area students from Plow Valve Company in Oskaloosa.
Oskaloosa goes right down the field, and they get themselves a 36-point advantage after a nice 21-yard run by Seth Howard. And if you're an Oskaloosa fan, this is what you wanted to see. Team's looking good, regardless of whether the playoffs happen or not. You're going to feel good after this ball game the way that they're playing right now.
Yeah, that Seth is really, other than the screen pass that he overthrew, he is really throwing the ball pretty well tonight. We had a little lull there on a couple drives, but other than that, he has really been spot on with his passes. So nice to see. Let's see if our defense here can stop him and we get one more, safety touchdown, I'll call it.
I don't think West Burlington Notre Dame is going to be scoring enough points, Doug, to endanger the 17-pointer. They need 3 scores now to make that happen. But I understand Oskaloosa doesn't want to take anything for granted, as running it back into the middle of the field as the return man for the Falcons. He'll get to the 20, maybe the 21, and be upended there. It looked like Van Rukel and Snakenberg and DeYoung were in on the stop. And the clock will continue to roll, and this is going to go an awfully quick second half here unless West Burlington Notre Dame can get it within that 35-point threshold.
Yeah, Shane Hoban was in on that tackle. A good job by our special teams there. West Burlington just barely getting outside of the 20 on the kick return.
Again, we'll talk about it after this play. 2 backs, 1 wide receiver to each side. The snap, this is Day in there. He hands it off to Brim, and he's got maybe 2.
Nice job by Kenny Satimi, the tackle there. And little. Actually, it was Kenny Satimi, but Tanner came in and got the glory by landing on top.
42-6, Oski leads it. Again, we'll be paying close attention to what playoff spots are open, but it may not be until close to midnight that we really know what the state releases. We can try to do the math ourselves, but like I said, the disclaimer is that last year I thought I did all the math correct, and I missed 2 teams. I had 2 teams incorrect of the 6 classes, so just do not take my word for it. We'll wait until the state officially announces it as right up the middle, no gain here for Brim on the carry. But as much as we are doing the math and trying to help you get an idea, the state's going to tell us who's going to be in the playoffs later tonight, and that's what you have to pay attention to, and we'll announce that on our social media pages as soon as it becomes official.
Well, you never know. There might be some hanging chads out there.
Well, and that's what I'm saying is maybe just the points on the website were incorrect to begin with, which could be the case as well. They might have messed up the points on the website that we're using because we didn't go and add every score up. You know, we assume that their scores are correct, but if they're not right and they adjust those, if there's a fumble right into the backfield and it'll be jumped on by Day.
And there are people out there that are like, hey, we know Oskaloosa's really watching this game. Let's play a joke on them.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Just like West Burlington Notre Dame. Who knows? Maybe these are just their third uniforms. They've worn them once all year, and they decided to wear them this. Not that that's the case. It's probably their regular home uniforms, but that doesn't mean I can like them any better.
Oh, the wind is at his back, and this punter has really boomed some balls.
He's standing at his own 9. Good snap. They're not coming after it.
Then he kicks.
Line drive dropped by Miller, and he'll stay on his feet somehow, stay alive, and gain about 4 yards on the return. Low line drive that time. You're right. I mean, the inconsistency of the kicking from both punters and both kickers has been really interesting. Blom has done it kind of intentionally with the line drives and the pooch kicks and all that stuff. But that punter has been just Gifford is. Not only has he drilled a couple of field goals, but a couple of punts into the wind looked really impressive. And then with the wind at his back here, he gives us a low-line drive that goes maybe 40 yards.
Well, then when we rushed him, he kicked it good. And then we don't rush him, and he hits a line drive.
Kind of like in the three-point contest. They always say those guys can make all of them as soon as there's a hand in their face.
Yeah.
First and 10 for Oskaloosa. Ball spotted at their own 46. They lead at 42-6. Howard's going to split out wide to the left with Cole Henry as the quarterback in the gun. He'll take the snap, fake a handoff, looks to throw, fires it to Howard. He makes the catch, makes a man miss. He's across midfield. He's got a blocker in front of him, across 40, inside the 30, off to the races, and he is gone. Touchdown, Oskaloosa.
Cole Henry throws a little swing out to Seth Howard. He makes the first guy miss, and he is shot out of a cannon down the left side.
Rocket.
He was gone.
My goodness.
Okay, I feel better now.
Wow.
Actually, they scored too fast. 7:25. We're only
7:25 left third quarter.
35 seconds into this quarter.
Yeah, thank goodness for the running clock. Oskaloosa is going to run on a man late here before the Blom extra point. That goes for 54 from Henry to Howard.
And that's Tyler Miller, and he got a little dinged up on that punt return. I hope he's all right.
Extra point from Blom is good. 49-6. Oski well on their way. Take a quick break and be back with the kickoff after this on the No Coast Network.
At Kinetic Edge Physical Therapy, we're proud to keep the Oskaloosa Indians and their fans safe and feeling good on and off the field. Kinetic Edge Physical Therapy is the expert in injury care, orthopedics, and sports rehab, with a new facility in Oskaloosa, complete with an open gym area in addition to several private treatment rooms. If pain is bugging you, come see the experts at Kinetic Edge for a free injury screen. Find out more, including why the Oskaloosa Indians trust Kinetic Edge, at kineticedgept.com.
7:25 to go in this third quarter. The running clock is going to be back in effect. 49-6. The Indians well on their way. It's just past the top of the 9 o'clock hour. And, of course, you're listening to us live on 99.5 FM and AM 740 KMZN. Live video stream on radiokmzn.com. Doug, what are you laughing about?
Well, I was just informed on a text that these are not their regular uniforms. I think they knew that you were coming here and you needed a little bit of stress tonight, and they decided to pull these uniforms out from somewhere. And
well, I see these guys walking around in green uniforms with white numbers that you can totally read.
Yeah.
And, yeah, well.
This one's for you, Emery.
Color me not a fan.
It's blackout.
Yeah, what are we blacking out?
Color out, uniform out.
Whatever. It is what it is. We've already made it halfway through, Doug. I'm not worried about it anymore. Kickoff dropped. Inside the 10, picked up, trying to get to the outside. He's got a little bit of a crease, and he'll be pushed out of bounds, I believe. Oh, he was not pushed out of bounds. It looked like Kraber pushed him, but he stayed in bounds. Blom, again, a touchdown-saving tackle out to the 43. You see it a lot. Sometimes Deshaun Jackson did it a few years ago on a punt return for Philadelphia. He drops the ball, and everybody just kind of loses their gap when the ball is on the ground. And then he picks it up, and he has enough time to see where the hole is and get a big return out of it. It happens a lot.
It wasn't like he made any moves either. So whoever's on that side just simply left their lane, and he just ran straight over there and right down the sideline. So breakdown on our kickoff team there.
It'll be 1st and 10 from the 43 in the Falcons' own territory. One wide receiver to each side. This is going to be a handoff to Brim. Makes the first man miss, but Silver is going to hold him up long enough for Van Veldhuizen to clean him up. No gain on the play, maybe a loss of 1.
I'll tell you what, he is a hard runner, though. That kid, I thought Tanner had his arms wrapped around him, and he was able to get away from him. And then it still took Van Veldhuizen and another guy to get him down.
They do actually give him a 2-yard loss on the carry, so him fighting so hard actually hurt him, because he ended up getting pushed back with the forward progress. So with 6:15 and counting left, one wide receiver to each side and 2 backs, a tight end. Snodgrass is under center. He'll take the snap, and he miscommunication with Brim that time, and he's going to be buried for another loss of a couple. It's almost like Brim went down the wrong lane, the wrong gap, and Snodgrass was standing there looking at the end, waiting for some contact from his back.
These guys just will not throw the ball. Alex DeYoung's got to be over there just going, come on. If I was Alex, I'd act like I'd leave the receiver wide open over there. Just try to bait him into something here. Act like you don't see him.
You're going to get mad if they complete the pass, though.
Probably would, but yeah, there, Alex, keep walking in.
5.5 to go and counting. 3rd and 15. The snap. And nothing. Brim gains nothing. And that'll bring up 4th down.
We have a huge update for Oskaloosa fans. After 3 quarters, Heelan leads Spirit Lake 8-3. So they need 2 scores to cover that. They need to win by 14.
14, yep.
So they got to score a touchdown, and they got to get a field goal or something. Again, otherwise, Oskaloosa could be in business if we've read the fine print correctly.
Exactly. That's the key. We'll have to kind of make sure our math is correct on that after the games go final. Here's a punt high in the air. This one better, but wrong angle.
That should be about the 45-yard line.
Yeah. Out of bounds. The official kind of trying to team up on where that ball is going to be after the ball well out of bounds. The official looking at the referee, still helping him, and they're going to mark it at the 48-yard line. Clock's still moving, which is what we like to see when you're leading them by this much. 49-6 in favor of the Indians, and they're going to come out here, and they will have 1st and 10 from their own 48-yard line, and we'll see what kind of personnel we have.
I'd like to see Cole Henry throw the ball on some regular routes here a little bit.
Is that in the best interest of sportsmanship, Dougie?
Well, no, it's not. You're right. I don't. You're right. I don't want to see that. I'm just being a little selfish.
Well, they're gonna. False start, but Henry blasts Alex Chapman in the face mask with a slant route anyways. It goes through his hand, and Levi Fresquez ends up catching it anyways. But 5-yard penalty on the Indians will back it up, and that'll just kill another 25 seconds off our clock.
You got to make sure everybody's set out there. You know, I don't think the clock was running down. You just got to slow down here a little bit. Let everybody get set. You got some different guys in there.
Fresquez, Chapman in the near side, Howard and Cruz to the far side. Happened again.
That was our offensive lineman there, so this is getting a little sloppy here.
Well, they're going to kill another minute between the time they were supposed to snap the first one and by the time they snap 1st and 20, so maybe they're just trying to run some clock in a very
now that's kind of a dumb rule, isn't it?
It is, isn't it? You could really just
you could run off 3 minutes. 3
They
penalties.
got plenty of yardage behind him to do that. A little slant or a little out route. It was a dangerous throw to Cruz. He makes the catch and will be drugged backwards. Not much on that one to about the 40. It'll be a gain of 3, maybe 4.
Long throw there. He was able to get it into Cruz.
Yeah, and Henry does have good throwing motion. He's a tall kid. He went to another tall receiver. As we mentioned, Howard is out there as a receiver, and you got Chapman and Fresquez. They're both out to the near side.
About 6 weeks from now, you'll be hearing Henry to Cruz on the round ball court.
You don't, not in this sport, but you'll be hearing it. Is it coming on blitz? Good pickup on the blitz by Howard, and then it's going to be Hill on a catch on a screen pass, runs into a defender and be forced out of bounds about near the original line of scrimmage, and that'll bring up about 3rd and 10. How about that from Seth Howard? He came across the formation and picked up the blitz as a blocker.
Well, you know, when Seth was a sophomore, I think he started on the Grinnell varsity team as a fullback, and he played a little bit of defense. So not a total stranger to doing that.
3rd and 10 from their own 48. Fresquez is going to flip sides of the field here to the far side of the field. I look back. The snap, Henry looking to throw, fires over the head of Cruz, and the incompletion will bring up 4th and 10. And the punt unit will come out. Well, Doug, they gained a total of 10 yards on that, but they're going to kill about 3.5 minutes before they punt the football away with the running clock.
Yeah, if you get a first down, then take 3 penalties each time. They won't even get the ball back.
I don't know if that's in the best interest of sportsmanship either.
It wouldn't be.
Van Ruckel back to punt, wind in his face, standing at his own 33. The snap. And the punt is toward the sideline, and this would be a short.
That's going to be a 10-yarder. Wow.
Referee holding his hand up, still walking.
It's not even that.
It's a 3-yard punt.
3-yard punt. So
from the line of scrimmage to where they mark it at the 49, yes, 3 yards.
Wow.
So we get ready to 30 seconds left here in this third quarter. Oski leading 49-6. And our attention, of course, is at a bunch of the different games. So after our game's final, be sure to check out Scores and More presented by Bubbler, where we're going to have not only scores, but hopefully an idea, a better idea at least, what is going on, what's happening in the state in football, and who's going to make the playoffs. 1st and 10 seconds left in the quarter. This will be the last play of the quarter. Here's Brim. Well, it runs through 1 tackle, but gains maybe 1.
Tanner had a chance to tackle him for a loss, and he almost needs to cup him around the ankles or something because they just run right through that arm tackle.
Calvin Silver's a little slow to get up here for Oskaloosa, but he will be helped up, and that's the end of the third quarter. We'll take a short break, and when we come back, we're going to have ourselves a fourth quarter. Running clock, Oskaloosa a 49-6 lead, well on their way here live in West Burlington. Short break on the No Coast Network.
Mouth. That poor, parched mouth. What'd you eat for lunch? Chalk dust? Did your face storm a sandcastle? You're being awfully quiet. Is that because your mouth feels like the business end of a Dremel saw? Is it because your mouth just wrote a haiku and all 17 syllables were dry heaves? Right now, your mouth could be tongue-bathing in the refreshing citrus kick of Mountain Dew. Instead, it feels like you've been motorboating King Tut's sarcophagus. Show some mercy. Crack open an ice-cold Mountain Dew. You know your mouth wants you to. Do the Dew.
Experience the Bruxfort's difference. We aim to provide you with the best value and better service than can be found anywhere else. After 36 years, we're still as committed to our customers and our community as the day we first opened our doors. Please stop in and give us a chance to prove how important our customers are to us.
Oskaloosa football well on their way to winning their 6th game of the year, leading West Burlington Notre Dame 49-6. The Falcons have it at midfield, 2nd and 9, and they run into each other in the backfield, but Brim runs over his quarterback and then gets tackled by Kraber after a gain of 1.
Well, Oskaloosa guessed right on the blitz. Tanner went right up the gap there, was able to get the quarterback as he was handing it off, and Cole Kraber was able to get the running back. So good job by our linebackers on that play.
3rd and 9, they'll call it. Maybe it's 3rd and 8 at the 49 in Oski territory. The Indians lead at 49-6, the running clock. $11:25 to go.
Well, there's another happening going on in scores here that we've been texting.
We'll talk about that in a second. Snodgrass, a nice little pitch to Brim on the outside, runs over a man, and then gets taken out of bounds. Well, by the way he's running, you wouldn't look at the scoreboard and think it is what it is.
Yeah,
he's still running with a mission.
Ran over Zuhair Mamoon, I think, over there. So,
I mean, that's a senior who doesn't want his season to end.
What's been nice tonight, and then we haven't mentioned it, Zuhair's a senior. He's been in there. Levi Fresquez has been in there. All the seniors are getting some good playing time.
It's 1st and 10 after a gain of 10 by Brem. It's that Spencer Algona score. We kind of figured that Spencer was going to take care of business, but if Spencer loses, that could bump Heelan up to the 2 seed.
Absolutely, and then
that would eliminate the Bishop Heelan score altogether. Look at Brim shoot through that hole. Gains about 10 before being brought down.
Yeah, we've got things really rolling in some different. Algona,
that would be interesting. They're in overtime.
Well, they're in overtime, so if Algona beats Spencer, that would give Oskaloosa, that would wipe that division out no matter what Heelan does.
You wouldn't need to worry
about it. Because if Sergeant Bluff beats the other
Storm
team,
Lake.
that's 3 losses.
Yeah.
That's 3 losses.
Yeah.
So Oskaloosa is looking good right here.
Well, you got to hope Algona finishes that job, though.
Right. Well, we still got 2 shots there with Algona now and Heelan not covering.
And here is a handoff, or a little pitch, and a nice little run inside the 20 to about the 18-yard line.
Well, tough tackle in the backfield again, but they just run through the tackle, and
Austin Mixer on the carry that time on what was 2nd and 1.
I'm just not sure what we can do about this, but if we do make the playoffs, we are certainly going to have to tackle much better next week.
49-6.
It's been a problem all year.
All the first teamers are still out there for Oskaloosa, except for technically Mamoon out there after Silvers got hurt right at the end of the 3rd quarter. 9:15 to go and counting 4th quarter. The snap to Snodgrass and his handoff to Brim. He runs right into the back of his offensive line and will be stood up. No gain on the play. It's going to be 2nd and 11 maybe.
These guys haven't even thought about throwing the ball.
They've thrown it once, I think.
Wow. I mean,
no, they've thrown it twice. Once he threw it away, rolling out, and then he threw it on 3rd down, and Dykstra hit him. But yeah, no, they haven't entertained the idea of it.
You know, I don't know. I'm not a big fan of that. At least get the shot. Maybe they don't go shotgun at all and throw it. At least try.
8:40 and counting. 49-6. The snap. Again to Brim, trying to carry some guys, and then he's going to be pushed backwards. He'll get to the 16. It'll be 3rd and 8.
Well, if things do hold like they are now, and if Oskaloosa does sneak in, it's disappointing that Vincent Ramirez was on path to possibly play in this game and injured his ankle and it ended his season in practice this week.
Well, he said he thought his leg was broken, but the doctor told him was partially torn tendon in the shin, and he's got other things he's worrying about long term, and he's not going to try to accelerate that as they do look to throw on 3rd and long here, avoiding the rush, trying to get forward as Snodgrass. Makes a few guys miss. He's going to go to the outside.
Terrible tackling. Look at this.
He's going to be brought down inside the 10, down to about the 5-yard line.
Oh, my goodness. I don't know what to say about that. I hate to be. I know. Okay, it's whatever. I mean, it's not like that's our starting defense out there.
I mean, I think the score has a lot to do with that, though, Doug. I mean, just a theory.
So Spencer kicks a field goal in overtime. Algona with the ball now, and they start at the 25, or is it?
I think
so. Or is it the 10?
I think it's the 25. Is near the goal line here is Snodgrass handing to Brim, and he's short at the 1-yard line. So it'll be second and goal from the 1 for West Burlington. By the way, Sigourney Keota had a win and you're in situation against Wilton. Wilton scores with 15 seconds to go to knock Sigourney Keota out of the 2 seed, 36-30. So Sigourney Keota has got to rely on the scores from around the state in Class 1A to make the playoffs.
Wow.
That would be a bad way to miss the playoffs. Second and goal from the 1. And it's going to be Snodgrass into the end zone on the sneak. And with 6:38 exactly to go, 49-12, Oskaloosa gives up a garbage time touchdown here and will be looking to try to get themselves the football back and try to run the rest of this 6.5 off, keep everybody healthy the best you could. But with everything happening around the state, man, the only winning you're in. Here's the snap, and the extra point is up and good, 49-12. So we'll go ahead and take a quick break. When we come back, we'll get you set up for Scores and More as well, which will be happening in a little bit on both KBOE and KMZN. But for now, we'll take a quick break. Oski still leading big, 49-14 here on the No Coast Network.
Providing high-quality professional eye care with a truly caring staff is what Oskaloosa Vision Center has been doing for more than 30 years. With our state-of-the-art equipment, we can provide comprehensive eye exams, prescription glasses, and contact lenses, as well as medical care like eye infection and disease treatment, emergency eye care, and pre- and post-operative aid. Newborn to adult, we have the experience to meet all your eye care needs. Oskaloosa Vision Center. Come see us today.
49-14, I believe the score is. Scoreboard still reads 49-13. I thought they said the extra point was good, but I could be mistaken. Either way, Oskaloosa's winning, and they're winning big. They'll receive the ball. Seth Howard is back to receive the kickoff, along with Tyler Miller. If you're listening to us on 104.9 FM KBOE, we appreciate you for joining us. As before we get to Scores and More presented by Bubbler, this week we're trying to allow most of the scores to finish up before we get going into that show. Taylor Howard will still give you all the scores. So be sure, at the very least, to get yourself situated for what will be a show that we're going to not only get the scores and try to figure out who's going to make the playoffs.
What? I'm a little giddy right now. And once again, we do not know for sure.
Exactly.
But things are not looking that bad.
No.
Uh-oh. He fielded, Snakenberg fielded the onside kick.
And he's going to try to run it all the way back. Cade inside the 20 down to the 18.
Nice job by Snakenberg. I don't think the ball had gone 10 yards yet, and he fielded it about 8 yards.
Yeah.
And he almost took it all the way for the Snakey. Now, is that the one that works Power Hour?
He does.
All right.
Cade Snakenberg. He'll be on the Power Hour tomorrow morning, 9 a.m. Be sure to join him for that. But, again, big disclaimer, folks. We think we have most of it figured out for Oskaloosa, but that doesn't mean that we have everything figured out. We were banking on a few other things happening around the state of Iowa in Class 3A, but all the other classes, there are some odd variables, like Sigourney Keota, for instance, losing to Wilton. They are scoreboard watching and trying to do the figuring of that as well. So we'll do our best to try to get you the playoff teams before we go final here. As mentioned, the surprise onside kick was picked up by Snakenberg. He takes it inside the 20 down to the 18. It's 1st and 10 Oskaloosa from there. Seth Howard in the slot to the near side along with Cruz. On the far side, a couple wide receivers as well. Henry in the gun. He takes a snap and he's looking to throw. He fires over into the flat. This is Fresquez who makes the catch, and he'll be brought down after a gain of about 5. Clock is a ticking, and 5.5 to go here and counting. And the running clock, 49-13, Oskaloosa leading by 36 points.
On the play, 2nd and 5.
Here's the snap. Henry looking to throw again. Fires toward the end zone, looking for Howard. What?
Oh, my
goodness.
gosh.
Did he catch that? Oh, he caught it.
Unbelievable one-handed catch there by Seth Howard.
Whoa!
Oh, my. That is a high.
Year.
I hope we've got a good shot of that. Our cameraman here is saying, yeah, I got it. So that is one heck of a one-handed catch.
That's the play of the year. That is absolutely the play of the year.
That young man, the way he ran after he caught the ball, may be looking at a position change, and if he's going to college by this game. I mean, he has looked fantastic out there catching the ball and running.
Blom, the extra point is good. What did I just witness?
Oh, my.
What a catch with one hand on a ball that Henry threw in a spot only his man could catch it. Unbelievable. Rain just now has arrived as well, and it's drenching everyone as we'll keep it here. Everybody's panicking that the rain has come. 56-13, though.
Yeah, you'd think it was a swarm of killer bees.
Yeah.
The way they're yelling down there.
Well, I don't think anybody expected the rain
we get
to
a shot of it. Oh, yeah, look at the cameraman's there. Oh, maybe it's they're throwing stuff up there.
Well, they're still screaming because of the rain.
That's what they're liking.
But, man, that is insane. 56-13. Seth Howard, what a fantastic job on a one-handed catch in the end zone for a touchdown reception off the pass from Cole Henry. He's got 2 in the air as well. So, Doug, any updates from the games, or are we just kind of sitting on it?
I think that I hope not, but I think that Heelan update is stuck. It's still 8-3. It's got to be late in that game. It started at 7 o'clock.
Yeah.
So they are late, and if that stays the same, that's good news. We also got a chance with Algona in double overtime against Spencer now.
And if they beat Spencer, then that makes Heelan with a win, the number 2 seed, and you don't have to worry about anybody else.
And we're in good shape.
Man, the rain really coming down out there now.
That kickoff goes into the
5:08 to go. The clock will again start to run as soon as they spot the football.
So, what a night here in Burlington.
Seth Howard, that catch that Seth Howard just made was unbelievable.
That catch and then the run on the first catch.
Well, he reached out, for those on the radio, he reached out with his left arm, and it just kind of stuck there, and he reeled it in as he kind of flipped onto his back, and he was in the midair as he did all of it.
It was Odell Beckham-esque.
Yes, absolutely.
I mean, it was stick the point in the palm and then pull it in.
1st and 10 from the 20. 5:08 to go. The snap, a handoff, nothing doing up the middle. I believe that's Brim. It is.
Well, I think we need to get Blake Van Velhey, get some guys out of there now. If we get somebody hurt on a chop block or something, we got our starting defensive line is in there. It's 56-13.
They got the backup.
We got backup linebackers in there.
But all the other, everybody else is starting.
I just would hate that. We got our starting defensive line in there.
I can see DeYoung still being in for other reasons, for his record chase if they ever throw in his direction.
But, those linemen are susceptible to getting cracked down on and would not be good.
Rain has stopped. Ball's out.
Uh-oh.
And it's picked up.
Kraber fighting for it.
Yeah, but they've whistled it dead. Brim fell back on it. And it'll be 3rd down with 4:15 and counting here.
I'm kind of playing survivor here. Okay, Algona has scored a touchdown
to start
in the second overtime. So Spencer has now got to answer with their own touchdown. I don't think they've got to go for 2 yet. That's the 3rd overtime. Then they'll have to start going for 2. So I do not know if Algona kicked the extra point or they went for 2.
3:45 to go in our game. 56-13 Oskaloosa the lead. It's 3rd and 11 from their own 19 for the Falcons. Linville-Sully in our game of the week beat Montezuma 40-0. And they are looking like a state championship contender at Linville-Sully right now. And they finished 8-0 and undefeated. They're looking to throw. Firing. Flag's going to be on DeYoung.
Man. There it was.
Yeah, they threw in his direction, and he just ran through the wide receiver on that side trying to get to the football. And it actually broke up the interception as well because he was reading it, but he ran right into the receiver as he tried to break a break on the football. Just couldn't beat him to the spot.
Yeah, there it was, Spark. They came at you. He's got me going, man, that was close. We have a final in a major upset. Algona has defeated Spencer, which by our calculations, all Hill, but puts Heelan in the number 2 spot and wipes out the wild card for that district.
Because Storm Lake, who loses to Sergeant Bluff Luton, and as there's a false start in our game here, and Storm Lake loses to Sergeant Bluff Luton, and then Spencer, the loss to Algona, makes them 3 losses. So it doesn't matter about points anymore. Oskaloosa only has the 2 district losses. So that's the second 1-win team that Spencer has lost to this season.
We are now looking at if Carlisle can hang on to a 36-3 lead over Norwalk and win that game by 8.
We think
by our projections, Oskaloosa would be in.
The second wild card behind Decorah.
Wow, this is getting exciting now. I'm down to 22%. It's clicking off fast here on my phone.
Hey, you're going to town, man.
Huh?
Loss. Mixer loses a bunch of yardage on a little pitch, and it's going to be under 2 minutes to play here with 56-13. Second half here, we've been watching our phones more than we've been watching the game, but Oskaloosa's put together a nice, complete performance for the most part here. Survived a 3-minute rainstorm here in the fourth quarter, and it's with 100 seconds to go. A 2nd and 19 for West Burlington at their own 25-yard line.
And we would like to note that the source of that is very credible. It is our athletic director. So we appreciate him being on top of this and forwarding us that score.
Ryan Parker, big thanks to him. Not much on the pickup, maybe 3 yards. Keegan Mitz-Butler on the stop, and that'll bring up a 3rd and long for the Falcons with just over a minute left to play. So from our calculations, it looks like Oskaloosa is in good shape to get in as a second wild card. But again, we will have to figure that out as the ball is fumbled. Ball's still loose. West Burlington's going to try to pick it up, and they'll fall on it back at about the 12-yard line. And I think we'll only need one more snap to get this thing over with. 56-13 as we near the bottom of the hour. And if everything checks out the way we see it, Oski should be in the playoffs.
Wow, what a great night if that indeed. Yeah, we got a text here from a fan on the other side. I think they're aware of it on the sideline, the Oskaloosa sideline, that they may be in the playoffs.
We
back-to-back playoff bursts possibly.
This
for
one
the
you needed
Indians.
some help to get in, but you definitely put yourself in a good spot by taking care of business tonight. Is with 10 seconds left, I don't know if they're going to force them to run another play, and I don't think they will, as Kate Snakenberg was lining up to return the punt. There's not going to be a punt. Ball game over. Oskaloosa wins 56-13, and with some help from around the state, we believe the Indians are going to make the playoffs in Class 3A and keep their season alive.
Oskaloosa 56.
Of course, we'll try to line that up the best that we can and try to get more confirmation from around the state. But with our personal projections from before the game began, we believe that Oskaloosa will be in the playoffs in Class 3A from this result and others from around the state. 56-13, the Indians wallop West Burlington, Notre Dame, Danville. We'll take a break, come back with the postgame show after this here on the No Coast Network.
If your savings and investments are sitting on the bench instead of meeting your goals, call Timeout to examine your investment lineup. Your game plan should include getting some investment advice from an experienced investment professional. I'm Bob Auld of Robert Auld Investments, an investment advisor with over 20 years of experience in Oskaloosa and southern Iowa. I would like to assist you with your investment strategies. Call 673-9448 or toll free at 1-800-444-ALD.
If you are looking for brand names close to home, then look no further than Penn Central Mall in Oskaloosa. Penn Central Mall has a wide variety of stores for people of all ages. Find the perfect pair of silver or Vigas jeans at Maurice's. Get a pair of Oakley sunglasses from the smiling staff at Eye Care Partners. Cozy up with Ashley Furniture from Gilworth Furniture. And find that dazzling diamond from Gardner Collier Jewelry. When you're done, grab a bite to eat at Mirachito or the Pizza Ranch. It's all at Penn Central Mall in Oskaloosa. Shop, walk, and enjoy Penn Central Mall.
Hawkeye Real Estate is your one-stop source for everything real estate in Mahaska County and the surrounding area. Whether commercial, residential, or acreages, we've got you covered with the area's largest pool of real estate professionals, full-time support staff, and property management services. With over $19 million in sales volume for 2016, Hawkeye continues to be Oskaloosa's leading real estate office. Discover what thousands already know. When it's time to make a move, get the Hawkeye Edge.
For over 30 years, Pella Printing has been leading the way in the print industry with quality equipment, modern facilities, and skilled staff. The Pella approach combines old-world craftsmanship with today's cutting-edge technology to provide brilliant printed products at a value price. They take the time to understand clients' needs from design to pre-press to printing and delivery to build lasting relationships with their customers. Whether you need personalized graduation announcements, oversized posters and banners, marketing materials, or stationery, Pella Printing offers a broad assortment of quality printed products done with speed and precision. Pella Printing, where technology and craftsmanship meet.
You built a castle so that the prince and princess can live happily ever after. You brought the sunshine to shine upon the whole family's future. But when the sun hides behind the clouds, State Farm can help. We put the life back in life insurance to protect your family's finances, not only in the future, but today.
Call your State Farm agent Kelly Style in Oskaloosa today.
We love to help people with their smiles. Petrito Orthodontics of Ottumwa and Oskaloosa is all about creating beautiful smiles and increased self-esteem that lasts a lifetime. We specialize in creating individualized smiles by committing to make each visit a memorable experience. Our office is equipped with state-of-the-art technology to ensure optimum results. For help with your smile, call Petrito Orthodontics.
Back here live, it is a final. Oskaloosa 56, West Burlington, Notre Dame, Danville. Score of 13. Oskaloosa at this point, Doug, just let's talk about the playoffs quickly. We believe everything Oskaloosa needed to happen except Decorah Independence worked in their favor, which means Decorah would be the only team ahead of them in the wild card standings, which would give Oskaloosa another playoff berth. We believe that has happened. Of course, we'll only be 100% when the state gives us who's in the playoffs in a couple of hours. Other than that, though, this game itself, Oskaloosa, a very complete game for the most part.
Yeah, they, the Indians played pretty good tonight. We had a few lulls in there. Our tackling, once again, was a little suspect, but they did what they had to do. And if as you mentioned, our calculations, and there is one other person that seems to believe, but it's not positive, that we are in the playoffs.
Oskaloosa has themselves a situation in which that they're going to be looking at the very least to be not only going to the playoffs, but to potentially get themselves a first-round upset. And if you're the Indians and Coach Jake Jenkins, and you saw some of the incredible stuff that we saw late in that game, especially Seth Howard on a couple of receptions for touchdowns, you hate to do it at this point of the season, but Doug, do you entertain the idea of maybe playing a little bit of Cole Henry at quarterback and Seth Howard out of the skill position?
Entertain that idea, but it's awful late in the season. That may be something that they look at this week, and it gives the defense playoff opponent another thing they have to look at. So yeah, we could do that. Cole's capable at quarterback, and Seth showed what he can do at that position, that running back position or flanker back. So yeah, I think you look at possibly putting Cole Henry at quarterback a little bit next week.
That'd be some kind of adjustment to be made going into the playoffs, but what we saw tonight, that definitely institutes that as well. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and sign off. That's as much as we're going to be able to give you tonight, with 9:34 being the time tonight. But by midnight is when we were expecting the state to give us the official word. We believe Oskaloosa is in. There are a lot of other question marks about other teams around the state. What we'll do for you, though, is that Taylor Howard on Scores and More presented by Bubbler are going to give you all of the scores as much as he can from around the state, not only for the playoff picture, but also all of our area scores as well. And we'll try to get you who we know in the area is going to be in the playoffs as best we can. Sigourney Kyoto having lost, they are going to be looking at a wild card, hopefully. Pleasantville, the same in Class 1A. They're both going to be battling for the same group of teams as number 3 seeds in their district. So for Oskaloosa tonight, though, everything went according to plan. Not only did they get themselves a big win at 56-13 over West Burlington Notre Dame, but as it stands right now, from the information that we gathered this week, Oskaloosa should be into the playoffs in Class 3A from what we've seen. So stick with us on Scores and More presented by Bubbler coming up in just a few minutes. So we'll go ahead and we'll sign it off. The final score for my partner, Doug DeCock. This is Emery Songer, 56-13. Oskaloosa the win. Big thanks to the Oskaloosa Video Production Program. We appreciate you for joining us tonight. Kenny Jones back in the No Coast Network Studios helping us out on the board. And of course, people like Titus and Dino doing our directing. Let's go ahead and sign it off for tonight. Stay locked in for Scores and More presented by Bubbler right here on the No Coast Network.
Listening to Oskaloosa Indians football. Brought to you by Bank Iowa, Mahaska Drug, William Penn University, Fairway, Raymond James Financial Services, Roxburt's Decorating Center, Oskaloosa Vision Center, Swim Sports Awards and Screen Printing, Hawkeye Real Estate, Cloud Valve Company, Robert Auld Investments, Mahaska, Kinetic Edge Physical Therapy, Penn Central Mall, Kelly Style Insurance, Oskaloosa Area Chamber and Development Group, Pedrito Orthodontics, and Pella Printing. This has been a presentation of the No Coast Network.